We are live. We're good.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Book club, next installment. Two new books: Paperclip, Depression.
Fourth recording.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be a pretty good one.
Things are going good. We have two good books today
Yeah.
and a few topics to cover before we get into the books.
Oh wow. You
You,
got some?
yeah, but you know about it.
What?
We got to recap the cornhole
Oh yeah, totally forgot
quickly.
about that.
It's been a while.
It has. That feels like a long time
I
ago.
know. That's a fever dream.
Yeah,
Quick recap.
we didn't win.
We didn't win, but we came to play.
We did.
I think we showed up. We played good. We started off bad.
We took it as serious as we needed, like as serious as anyone could possibly take that. You
So,
know, but sometimes it's just not enough.
I think what happened was we weren't as nervous this time,
Yeah,
which was a big difference. First year we were, at least me, the
yeah,
nerves got to me,
yeah,
chocolates got to me.
yeah.
The second year we knew what was coming.
Hmm.
We didn't over practice or warm up, which I think was good.
Didn't overdrink
I think first they forgot to call our game
every year.
every year, which in the first game really throws you off because you're
Yeah,
ready and then we're sitting
yeah.
around, we got cold. We run up against O'Leary and crew,
Oh my God.
and this is an absolute buzzsaw.
Yeah.
And we got up to a nice 1-0 lead.
Hmm.
Really, really good. Ended up losing 21-1 in
It's
just
21 unanswered, and I never really felt like there was anything we could do about
I
it.
had turns where I was missing the board four in a row. And you're not going to win a cornhole tournament without even touching the board.
No.
And I don't know what happened. Like they were played good, but we just fell apart.
Yeah.
Um, so that happened. That almost took the pressure off because it was like, okay, it's not our year.
Sends you
Let's hit the
right.
losers bracket.
Yeah, sends us right to losers bracket, which was where I think we're most comfortable.
That's where we're comfortable.
So
Second game,
obviously we go on a run, in the losers
yeah,
bracket.
I don't want to toot my own horn at all, but I believe I hit the first two holes in the second game, and I think that kind of broke the ice for us a little
Yeah.
bit, gave us a little confidence. And then second game, that was rats play. Did I ever tell you about rats play?
Nah.
Like rats wrestle with each other, but if like one rat is like way bigger than the other rat,
Yeah.
it'll let it win sometimes, so that
Yeah.
way it keeps playing.
Hmm.
Because like if you just win the other time, the rat will just like leave. Like I don't want to wrestle with you anymore.
Okay.
So that was like rats play. Like we kind of ran
Oh
away with
yeah.
it. We let them score a few points at the end.
Like I was talking to
It
the
was
guy. Yeah.
21-6 or something.
Yeah. Like I was talking to the guy. He was like, how'd you guys do in the first game? I was like, we lost 21-1. And he was like, so all of a sudden he's feeling like pretty good. I was like, yeah, we're struggling, so he had this false sense of like confidence. And then when you came out, you hit the first two. He was like, I thought you guys lost 21-1. And I was like, we did.
I had a hard time convincing my guy too that we actually did because I started
Yeah.
to feel bad because we were winning
Yeah.
so nice.
But it also like, take nothing away from O'Leary and crew. Like he put on a
They
clinic.
they put on a show.
Yeah.
They were scary, intimidating guys.
Yeah.
At least the one guy was. I can't remember. The other guy seemed like your guy seemed like he was pretty cool.
Yeah, he was just kind of putting it on the board. I mean, he drove up at least an hour for the event, which kind of tells you everything you need to know.
Yep,
He
serious.
was there to win. And unfortunately for them, they probably ran into the Seltzer crew or whoever their last name's the
Oh
Celts.
yeah,
There's two of them.
that one guy with the
Yeah.
hat.
Oh my God.
He's the best cornhole player I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Um,
I going into it, I honestly thought if we didn't drink, especially how it went last year. Like last
true.
year, we made it to like the top eight or so, or we had the game to get into the
Yep.
top eight, and we were just, I mean, I was absolutely plastered. You can't win games like that. So like
Yeah.
this year, like timing out the drinks, making sure I was like pretty much one drink in for every game. Like I
We
think I had three drinks.
we took it seriously. We
Yeah,
timed our drinks. We made sure we only had one drink per hour. We were there for the cornhole.
yeah.
So then we were 1-1, feeling a lot better after that second game.
But we didn't face anyone last year that was near as good as
O'Leary,
O'Leary.
no.
And then like for the other two, there was like a Celts team one, Celts team two. So it's like this family is just
They're
they're
cornholing.
yeah, they're just born to
They're
play the game.
cornholers.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're playing in the backyard probably every like barbecue
totally. I
weekends,
think
and
one was like a daughter too. It was like a father daughter.
we were gonna play them, and
Yeah,
then we ended up. That was the last game, I think.
if we'd won that.
So then third game, we run into Freshmanwoods again. They were the guys that we played last year. In our second game, we eliminated them. That
Yeah,
was our first win in the cornhole tournament. I think this year, I don't remember exactly. Like, I think we handled it pretty
pretty
easily. We
easily.
let them hang
Yeah,
around a little bit
I think
early.
like 21-13. I was expecting it to be worse because I mean, last year we were down 10-0 to them,
Yeah.
playing on these boards that were like one was up on a hill and the other was the bottom of the hill. So like I remember like we were down 10-0 because it was like we had no idea what was going on.
Yep.
And then this year we actually kind of planned it out that if we were to play on that side again, we kind of knew where we were gonna be.
That was nice. That's
Yeah,
where we got really set up for
yeah.
that game somehow. We were in good spots on the right sides. And I mean, we eliminated them for the second time in two
Oh
years. If you're
yeah.
freshman, it's
Oh yeah.
can you show up next year? And have to play us again 3 years in a row.
Especially
Imagine
first game in the losers bracket. So it's like they've been eliminated now 2 years in a row in the second
they're 0
game.
4.
Yeah,
Ugh. Well, they're cool guys.
they are.
They're always good sports, and we usually like have a drink with them after. So like, I don't hate playing them because
No.
they're cool guys. So I feel bad that we're like constantly eliminating them.
Hmm.
Um, so then we're 2-1. We're feeling better. Fourth game, I don't remember.
I was gonna say, like, I don't even remember us losing.
Dude, because we went 4-2. So that was two wins. We won a third game.
I
Yeah.
don't think anywhere that close either. Like, I don't
I,
think we were that close to being eliminated. Oh, we beat Doug.
we had a family matchup. How did I
Yeah,
forget that?
yeah, no.
Family matchup.
That one was actually a tough game, but
Shout out Dougie. He
he
played
played.
good because he
Yeah,
was on your side and he was hitting
yeah.
bags.
I was,
Luckily,
yeah, struggling to stay afloat, but
you were
like,
just holding it down,
yeah,
like kind of minimizing damage, which
yeah,
is what you have to do.
yeah.
The guy I was playing with was not playing nearly as well, and I was able
No,
to capitalize,
had
I
a
think,
really bad game and
and
you worked him over.
I was able to get some big turns.
So we actually won that pretty easily, I think, but that was
They
actually
got
a tough
up
game. Yeah.
like 13-5 or something. Like we were down pretty big,
Were we?
I
Yeah.
think, like early, but it never felt like it was getting away from us. And then I
No.
think we kind of really pulled away.
Yeah.
So then we're 3-1. We're feeling real good. We get a gift from heaven. The what was the restaurant name? The White Cough Inn.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
White Cough Inn. They made it too far in the tournament. Didn't plan it well. They had to go
Yeah.
open their restaurant, so they had to they forfeit, sending us to 4-2,
They
four
also
and one.
they also probably knew. They were probably talking to everyone, being like, who do we have next? Who do we have next? And
They're the
they saw a
hottest. We were the
start
hottest
coming.
team out there
Yeah.
at that point, I think, without a doubt, especially in the losers bracket.
Yeah.
So then we're 4-1.
Yeah.
We're feeling good. I think we had a bit of a break at this point, which I
Yeah.
think always seems to hurt us.
And then I think you're at that point where you're like in the finals of the losers bracket, right? To then
Yeah,
get back
we're in
into
the
the
final 12. So like those last few in the losers bracket would have
yeah,
gone into the final eight
yeah.
of the winners bracket, I think. I don't really remember that game. I remember being close. We hung around and like we kind of just didn't play well.
Yeah, what was the final on that? I can't even remember.
I honestly have been blocking it from my memory.
So I feel the same. I can't even remember playing
I
anyone.
think they kind of forgot to call us again. They were all set up on their sides.
Oh yeah.
And we got there. We were a little discombobulated.
Oh, I do remember. They were like two older guys. One was like a ninja thrower,
Right.
and one was, I think, really pretty good.
They were good. They weren't bad at
Yeah,
all.
but that was a winnable
That's
game,
what it
maybe.
was. I think that's what frustrated me was that we didn't hit an O'Leary buzzsaw. We
No,
just kind of played mediocre in a tough game.
we were
We could have
hearing
won.
in the background though that so O'Leary's team I know like got second a couple of times and they lost to like a professional team. So there was a couple of years during the tournament where like a literal pro team was showing up because it's like free money for them. They were like sitting underneath the 10 and just didn't miss shots. And O'Leary's team like lost to them twice. So like O'Leary's team is like a championship team.
Yeah.
But then we hear through the grapevines that O'Leary's team got like handled by Celts. And that's sitting in the back of my memory. Like if O'Leary's team's getting worked over by some other team, like I thought we were gonna make our way back to the finals against O'Leary and crew, get
And
a
have
second chance at them.
redemption.
Yeah.
Beat them in the finals. We have to beat them
Ooh.
twice,
And we heard
probably.
they were getting worked around in the winners bracket.
It's stiff competition. That Stealth guy
Yeah.
teaching his opponent how to throw
Oh
mid
yeah.
game in like the final
Yeah.
four
Yeah.
and just hitting like four goals in a
We
row.
left
Once
right
he
after
did
that. I
that,
was
I was
like,
like, okay, we
may never come back. And if I do come back, one, I'm gonna make sure Celts isn't there.
we're gonna win our first game one year and get in that
Yeah.
winners bracket because that'll give us an easier path.
Yeah.
And I think overall though, solid performance in the cornhole world.
It's always a balance that tournament because it's free alcohol and the alcohol is, within bag's reach. You can throw a bag to
It's
that
right there.
bar
You're
park.
looking at it.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're 8-4 in 2 years. Two deep tournament runs, no early
Which
exits.
I mean, we've gotten our money's worth. The first year we got it through our play and we got it through the alcohol.
Yep.
Like, I drank at least $150 a week. Drinks that day and I think everyone that first year, like Doug was hammered, you know, you were slurring a bit. Like
I got
everyone,
there.
yeah,
I got there.
everyone was there to have a good time. This year, it seemed like everyone was there to win.
It was
Like Doug,
serious.
yeah,
Doug
like
wasn't drinking.
no, like
Jake, on the other hand,
Jake was there to have a good
he
time.
was because he wasn't there the year before. Next year
Nah,
he'll probably come serious.
yeah,
And he might come to drink
he'll be there to
regardless.
drink. Yeah,
Yeah. So that's the cornhole talk. Cornhole talk. I thought we owed it to everyone after we kind of teased it at the end of the last episode.
yeah.
The cornhole. So now everyone's been on the edge of their seats,
It's funny, like
dying to know how we did.
yeah, like I talk about it all the time, and like people will be like, when's the next one? I'll be like, next year. They'll be like, oh, it's just there's one per year, and I'm like, yeah, that's what makes it so exciting.
That's it's like that NCAA tournament.
Yeah,
Like if you're out, like
yeah, you're out.
you put in all that work all
Yeah,
year, you gotta wait till next year.
yeah, you're
That's
gonna go
it.
through a hard winter, and
Just focus,
yeah, get
train,
work on your game.
and that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Go into next year. Second topic, breath.
Oh yeah.
Real quick. James Nestor came to work, gave a little talk. It holds up. The guy is a 5-star guy.
Yes.
He's a 5-star writer,
Just super impressive.
5-star presenter, 5-star guy.
Yeah.
So I was like, I fangirled really hard. Got there like 10 minutes early. It was at 10 o'clock. Got there 10 minutes early. They had books there for everyone, which was sweet. So I have a hard copy
Oh,
now.
that's awesome.
And I was gonna be like, hey, can I get an autograph? But they were like fixing his like mic and stuff, and he was kind of getting ready. And I was like, I don't want to be
That guy.
like right in the beginning to go. And then at the end, they were like, oh, if anyone wants to stay and like get autographs or anything, you can. But I had to run to a meeting, which I really regret doing now. So I didn't get to meet him.
I would have canceled that meeting.
I should have. And so I thought that the meeting was with my boss, and I told him and the rest of my team the week before, like, you guys all have to come to this. You're gonna like it.
Yeah.
No one showed up. So I went by myself and I had to run back to the meeting with him. Um, but I did ask one question. So there was like a mic in the middle of the room. And like, does anyone in the audience have any questions? I sprinted
Yeah.
to the mic
Yeah.
and I was like, thank you so much for coming. Uh, our book club is a huge fan.
Love it.
Few giggles in the
Yeah.
crowd. And then I was like, question is like I have a 2-month-old baby daughter.
Should I start taping a mouse shut?
My wife won't let me tape her mouth shut at night. How else can I help her like make sure she doesn't have some of the same problems we've all gotten
Yeah.
through life? And he was like a few other people had asked questions like through like an online thing.
That's a wild question, but I think
He
it's a fair
immediately was
question.
like, great question. And
Yeah.
he didn't say that to anyone else. So I
Yeah.
was like,
Like I would have phrased it in a way because that sounds like you're trying to tape your baby's mouth shut. I would have phrased it like, at what age do you think it's a good
Mhm.
idea to start mouth taping for kids?
he
But he'll answer that.
Yeah, he was because I was like, what else can I do to kind
Yeah.
of help her along the way as she kind of grows up? And then he gave like a really nice answer, like, hey, if you see she's sleep, if her mouth opens when she sleeps, you can like kind of gently like close it, so that way it just keeps her trained to breathe through her nose.
Yeah.
Um, So that was great. He was like super psyched. And then he was answering some other question later and he was like kind of came back to me and he was like
Yeah,
three pointed at me because I was obviously sitting in the front row by myself.
of course.
And everyone else was behind me, so that pumped me up. Um, but yeah, it was great. He gave like generic stuff from the book and like that kind of background. He was dressed very nicely, great
Yeah,
suit, he had great posture. You could tell he was breathing real nice.
yeah,
We did some group breath work. Um, he gave some new stuff. He was like, this is in like the new edition kind of. He added a chapter
yeah,
for stuff about like carbon dioxide buildup in rooms. And he's like, oh, like in rooms, especially like classrooms and offices, like the air quality is so bad from the carbon dioxide that it's like really impactful to your breathing and health and everything. So like even if you just like crack a window when you sleep, that like makes
yeah.
a huge difference.
That's crazy because
So
I
that's
was
some new information.
just telling my students about that because we're doing like mixtures, and I said like the air is a mixture of, oxygen,
Mm,
nitrogen, carbon dioxide, and all that stuff. But I said like we're all breathing in oxygen, but we're releasing carbon dioxide, but yet this room doesn't like fill up with carbon dioxide because, the way the particles travel and they get through the door and
naturally.
but it's like evidently it's not traveling as well as I thought.
Yeah, he's
Like
like
if
this
it's
is like
building up,
news. I think
yeah,
some new research he's like been working on, and he like had all these people go to like different hotels
yeah,
and bring like an air quality thing measures that,
yeah.
and like he's like hotels like, some of the
I would
worst because they
imagine
don't have
that,
the windows
yeah.
that open at all, and it
Yes.
just gets like
There's no
I think
cracks,
it's just
yeah.
stale air.
That makes sense.
So that was cool, like new information.
Is he working on anything right now?
I think I saw he was on some like other podcasts. I should ask him to come here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know if he's like promoting something. He didn't mention like, oh, like my new book or like anything like
I
that.
think when you have a book that's that good,
You
five
just
star,
you stick with it.
yeah, you stay with it for a while, you get as much money as you can from it, and then
Yep.
when you need to work on something else, like, and you can't rush it. Like he's got to get something he's as excited about with breath
Yes,
as he was
he
with
spent
breath.
years and years like doing all that research.
I can't believe he actually did a lot of that stuff too. Like for a bunch of chapters in the book, it talks about how he like literally taped his nose
Yeah,
closed and like literally did that for like
only mouth breathed.
for like a while, for like
Months.
weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think yeah,
And
that's.
like his sinuses started getting so effed up and he was getting headaches and
I
all
think
this
his whole
stuff.
health like fell apart.
Yeah.
Like
Like he's a
literally everything.
serious like journalist.
Yeah, no, he's a 5-star guy all around.
I love when people put themselves in the book and like talk about their own experiences
Yep.
and actually like test out what you're writing about. Like the LSD mushroom,
Guy.
yeah, book. Like he's a serious journalist. He's like in his 50s or maybe even 60s now, and it's like, for him to write that book, I think would have been a lot less meaningful had he not like had the experiences himself. Like you
Yes,
can only go
100%.
so far talking about other people's experiences if you can't kind of connect it to your own.
100%. Yes, he really did a great job. There were a lot of technical difficulties for some reason, like his presentation thing wasn't working, and he was like, "Nah, that's really cool. We're just gonna wing it." And
Yeah.
he was like,
So
complete
he's
five
just the
star
man.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, great guy. Third topic, another quick one. Connor and Aid
Yeah.
saw them at the wedding last week. Um, Instantly they're like, "Oh, how's Steve?" And I was like, this is my in. We're gonna talk book club here. So told them about the book club and all that. Like they were so psyched on it, which
Yeah.
got me so pumped up. They were so happy. They thought it was great. I like showed them the list of books. Like Connor was like, he knew a lot of the books. He
He's been
liked
reading.
them. He's like, what kind of books? Like I'm into like a lot of these books too. So he was super psyched.
I'm not surprised. I mean, those are two really smart guys that you would never know are that smart.
Yeah. So I showed them obviously the Spotify, and they're like, "We're gonna listen to it tomorrow, like on the drive home." Like I got so pumped up. I don't
Yeah,
know. According to our stats, no
they
one's
haven't.
listened to it.
But
But
I don't think we can trust that because, like we were saying on the last, like not this most recent one, but the one before, like I listened to the entire thing from start to finish to the point where it, like rewinds you back to the beginning. And I know
mhm,
Abriana did as well. So it's like that's two.
okay,
Guaranteed.
we're not even at two.
Yeah.
So it might be too low to even like register right now.
Yeah.
So I got nervous. So I was like, "What did we say in this like fucking episode?"
Speed followers
Yeah,
in here. We were having some bee problems outside. We were gonna actually record outside the garage, and the
clear.
bees weren't having it. And honestly, probably did us a favor. It feels good to be like in our home environment
This
here.
is where we belong.
Yeah. Like
Um,
we're not outside,
not
book
outside
club,
podcast.
podcasters. We're garage people.
I got nervous, and I was like, if these guys listen to this tomorrow, like, what are they going to be listening to? Because I
Yeah.
hadn't listened to it in a while, and I put it on. It holds up, thankfully. We're like half the time we're talking about the rain
Yeah.
because it was a
And you
thunderstorm.
can't hear
You can't
anything.
hear any rain. I don't know how it does a good job filtering that out,
Yeah.
which is nice. Um, and then because they were so psyched on it, which was why I texted you. I was getting so pumped up. They were like, "We want to like zoom into the next one."
Love it.
And like all the stuff we were like we're gonna surprise Steve. We're not gonna tell him about it. We're just gonna have him zoom in. And I was like, yes, everything.
I
Like
would have been too excited. I wouldn't even be able
I was
to
like,
talk.
it might
Yeah.
break his brain if we
Yeah.
actually did that.
Like I would have been like, wait.
And I was like, all right, just text me this week. Like we're gonna set it up. That's gonna be awesome. Obviously, I haven't heard anything
Yeah.
since,
We are
but
though 100% due for, start getting some guests on here. I know we've been
yeah,
talking about it
yeah.
and all this, and it's been tough to schedule these meetings with everything going on in everyone's life, but like
I think it's gonna get easier
mandatory
now.
next one, yeah, 100%. There'll be a third chair here. Whether someone's sitting in it or not,
That's
it's
a
up for
that's
debate,
a good
but we're putting
idea.
a third chair out and sending an info.
Yeah.
So
And we didn't do attendance today. I think it's self-explanatory that
nobody's
at this
here.
point, if you made it this far, which we know you haven't,
Yeah.
that there's two of us here. But that I did want to tell you about that because got so psyched about it that it made me psyched about it, and I
Yeah.
was already psyched about it. So that was really really nice.
I think it's clearly maybe the only really good thing I'm doing in my life. Is like this book club. It's the thing I feel the best about.
It's the only thing I have
Like
socially.
like in depression, when you started talking about like your intrinsic motivations, I was just like, I have zero. Like zero actual intrinsic motivations. I think the thing I get most intrinsically motivated about is book club.
Book club
Like I
is
feel the best about it. I feel the best when I'm doing it.
that's
Like,
where maybe we should save that for that.
yeah,
Because yeah, I have a lot to say.
we'll get
Should
back
we
to it.
jump into books?
Yeah,
I
start with paperclip.
Yeah, I'm just gonna bring up. I want to read the full title of Paperclip because the title we talked about last week. Some of these awesome book titles, like Great Cat Massacre. I mean, it's hard to beat this. Operation Paperclip, the secret intelligence program that brought Nazi scientists to America. I mean, that
Self-explanatory.
right there. It's by Annie Jacobsen. She also wrote a book we read. If one of our loyal Substack followers, um, Nuclear War, which is awesome. Um, right off the bat, she's thorough.
Her research is crazy.
She's
That's one of my
maybe
notes.
top of the
Yeah,
game in terms of thoroughness
yeah.
and information. Like this is not um just like a quick little thing that she
No.
thought to do and like make a blog about it. Like
And
this
I
was
think
years of
I
work.
think Nuclear Ward actually helped her because there was probably so little information to get out there that it
Mhm.
was like she got every little bit of information she could possibly get, and it added up to like an 8-hour book, and everything in there was like something you didn't know. So it'd just be like, all right,
Yes.
this is how the process actually goes when, a
Yeah.
nuclear war starts. And like every single thing she said was like brand new. I think there's so much information on this. So many journalists have written about this in the past. Like she referenced a bunch of other journalists that were like
Mm,
constantly putting out stories regarding like the past of a lot of these people that were like rising up the ranks.
right.
Um, and I think in a way that kind of diluted a lot of the book where it was like 20 hours and it probably should have been more like 8 to 10.
Agree. Yeah, I think my first impressions were like I was so excited for this book just based on that topic. Like, holy crap, what do you mean?
Yeah,
Bringing Nazi scientists to America after World War II? Like, shouldn't this be something everyone knows about?
yeah.
Um, and
It's
was
just
awesome to learn about
I think people did know about it though. That's kind of what I got, which was crazy. Is like people knew about it.
like
Writers were writing about
in
it,
real
and
time
like yeah,
almost, which is crazy.
like in the '60s or '70s, right? Like New York Times writer, she referenced a couple of times. So like people realized what had happened, but there maybe wasn't as much like public outcry and all this stuff and just maybe not something that like made it through the test of time. Like people were just like, it is what it is.
it seems, which is interesting. Like the first half of the book, I was disappointed.
Yeah.
I was like kind of let down. I was like, this isn't really that crazy. Like she kind of just
There's so many names and it was so hard to follow who
it
was
was
who.
hard to follow who was who for sure.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of like the backstories of these Nazi scientists
Yeah.
and less of what they were doing that was really bad and
Yeah.
less of what them coming to America for the first half. And then the
Yeah.
second half kind of got more into like that part. So
Yeah.
it got a lot better, I think, the last few
I
hours.
agree. The second half was definitely better than the first half. Um, the first half, I like the thing I enjoyed the most was almost just like her throwing out all the names, just like in like a heavy German kind of way of saying a name, and it was just like
Yeah,
Frischwind
this
and
wasn't
Schwiegerschmort.
just a few scientists they brought over. This was hundreds of Nazi
Yeah.
scientists that go all the way up to like Hitler's director, like Surgeon General.
Oh yeah.
Um, so these are guys that came to America and founded NASA. Like Werner
Yeah.
von Braun founded NASA along with 120, I think, other scientists.
Yeah.
Like they were the first kind of people that they all pointed into NASA. Um, so it wasn't like, oh, like two guys came over and this and that. Like these were guys who were directly responsible for like inventing
Almost like everything.
everything. Like
Yeah.
c- very impressive, like scientific discoveries, along with like com-
Pesticides
yeah, like
and
brutal, like tear gas, like not tear
oh
gas, but
yeah.
like tabbing gas.
Oh yeah, the
And then
chemical warfare aspect, that was my first note is like it's kind
crazy.
of wild that it's like they were looking for like they were researching stuff to just instead of dropping bombs, they were just gonna drop these chemicals. And it's like knowing what we know now about like anthrax and like some of these chemicals that it's like it could be like one Ziploc bag could kill like 50 million people.
So you're right. So like what I was thinking was tabbing gas. They said like if the drop touches your skin, like you're dead.
Yeah.
So like that was what almost like 80 years ago.
Yeah.
So like what do they have
Oh, I
now?
know. Because they
What
did talk about that they kept like
they clearly
finding more and more dangerous
right,
stuff.
like clearly they still have that, and
Yeah,
then they've made a bunch of secret stuff, I'm sure,
yeah,
and everywhere around the world. Like, what is the craziest shit that they have right now?
yeah. We'll never know, but I
We'll
know
in like
that
100 years, like we'll find out.
I think it was kind of though like it seemed like everyone a little bit got on the same page of like, all right, we have such horrible shit now. Like we've gotten so good at this that we can't use this stuff. So everyone kind of got on the same page of like, all right, let's stop, just keep trying to make these chemicals that are worse and worse and worse. And let's
Right.
kind of agree not to. And that was like the point where they almost started researching like giving people and soldiers like LSD and like those types of compounds to like not just like ruthlessly murder them and have their skin fall off, but instead just make them like not want to fight.
Yeah, but some of those promises are like the United States and Russia are like, all
Oh,
right,
I
we
know.
promise
Yes,
we're
not
gonna
to.
stop, but
Yes.
you have to promise that
Yeah.
you're gonna
Oh,
stop. And they're like,
100%.
okay,
Yeah, no, they
like,
definitely haven't stopped.
you know,
Yeah.
but yeah, like that is crazy.
It's also
And
crazy
they're
with the
testing it on people.
I
And
know.
then they're like, okay, you made some bad stuff, you tested it on people,
Yeah.
but we need you
We need your
here.
mind, yeah, to work on like pesticides for crop.
Yeah. It seems like the way they justified it was like, hey, we don't get these guys,
Yes,
Russia's gonna
other
get
people
these
will.
guys.
Yeah.
Other people will.
Yeah.
And it's like then it's like the moral debate of like, hey,
Does what
it's
you've done in the past exclude you
right.
from
But
contributing to society in a meaningful way?
it's weird because like it's, that argument doesn't really hold up because if like they just went to jail,
Yeah.
let's say, then they wouldn't be like going to help the Russians. But instead they had this whole like Nuremberg trial, which like
Yeah.
it seems like they didn't take that very seriously. They were just like trying to get some of the people involved with,
Yeah.
you
And
know,
some a lot were exxited.
there were a lot executed, but it
But
seems like a lot fell through the cracks. Like it
a
wasn't
lot
like the
went to
most
jail, but yeah, a lot. If they didn't have like incredibly damning evidence, not only did they not put them in jail, they like made them like put them in prominent U.S. positions.
right. Like you would think that the mass murder of 6 million people would have a more thorough trial and investigation, but it seemed
Yeah.
like it was kind of just like yeah, we kind of got some of them. Like a lot of them were just like being given orders, so they're just
Yeah.
following. Like if you were just following orders, they were like, yeah, you're cool.
Yeah, in
Which
some
is
ways, yeah.
right. Which is that's a hard debate. Like,
It is, yeah.
but it,
Because it kind of goes to like like what we've talked about previously about like what was legal in the 1800s versus like what's legal now. Like if you were in the Wild West and someone like stepped on your shoe and
kill
you're
'em.
just like, fuck you, I'm
Kill
gonna
'em.
shoot you in the face, you like could as long as like you both went outside and did it
Did
as a
a
duel.
duel,
Yeah.
gentlemen.
Yeah. And like everyone was good with that. You do that now and everyone's like, this guy's a terrible person, like get him in prison for life.
Psycho.
Yeah.
This guy just shot me. I
Yeah.
should step
But it's like
outside.
the laws back then were the laws back then. So people were just living within the laws. And like
Yeah,
what you're saying is like Hitler gives you an order, you're a soldier, you're just following orders.
for sure.
Where I think
But
they should have started to question it is when they were just like constantly like Hitler, I need, like 50 new bodies. I killed the last 50 with this nerve agent that I was testing, or like,
that was Bayer,
yeah,
who was the
the drug
the Advil
company.
maker, whatever they
Yeah,
make, aspirin or something. They would just be like, I need 150
yeah,
J's for this experiment, and then they would all die, and they'd be like,
yeah,
oh, okay, I need
yeah,
150
50
more,
more,
and
yeah.
that's like now like
Like it
Bayer.
was like a
That's like
purchase
a
order, yeah.
multi-billion-dollar
I know.
company that's just like still chilling.
Why were the Germans so much better at like everything though?
I
Like
think
why was it not as simple as like, hey, let's take these Germans that seem to know a lot about a lot of this stuff and like let's take our smartest guys and just get the information from them and then they can like further
do you,
the research and go from there.
do you think it was like
Like it seemed like they were better at everything. Like
everything?
they advanced like society at that time, like in every way.
Yeah. Do you think it was some of it was, I shouldn't laugh,
Like
that
operating with zero
they had,
restrictions.
right, like you had better experiments. Like they were experimenting things on like flight speed and like how
Yeah,
fastly you can like change altitudes. And it's
yeah,
like if you could test that on a person
yeah.
and you don't care if they die or
You can
not,
advance it so much
maybe
quicker.
you can do that faster versus like because they were doing it with like bunny rabbits.
Yeah,
And like the bunny rabbit would always die.
yeah,
But like I don't know how much that really tells you for then transferring that to like a human in there. But
totally.
if you have a human,
Yeah,
you'd be like, okay, nope, that doesn't
yeah,
work. Like, all right, next, and you change it. But they also did like this wasn't even in the book, but I think they made like sick highways
yeah,
and stuff. I think it was maybe just like, hey, this whole country is in wartime, and we're only focusing on the war. So like now we're building highways so that way our vehicles can
yeah,
get through
yeah.
to different battles faster,
I
and
guess
like
it,
everyone
yeah,
was just like whatever your job was, like
yeah. You just did it.
you're not doing that anymore. You're doing
Yeah.
like war stuff.
I think you're probably right. It's like when you put your head down with zero restrictions and you have like a very
And
clear, like set task.
everyone listened
Yeah, you can,
somehow.
yeah, you can like advance things so quickly. But yeah, it seemed like they had their hand in everything. And like,
There is like the tough argument that's like because like all the general civilization, a lot of them kind of just were like, yeah, like we're in on this, like we're going along, we're cool with
yeah,
it. Of like, because then people be like, how is everyone like cool with this? And then
yeah,
it's like, I think almost any civilization would kind of just like go along, which is so scary.
yeah. Like
If like
it's net,
everyone's doing it
yeah.
and
And if it's net positive,
people are telling you that like, oh, these other people are bad and
yeah.
they're bad for this reason.
And like your life was miserable after the First World War. So it was like, Germany was just getting shit on by everyone. They probably had no money, no anything. So it's like your life is a disaster. Now all of a sudden this person comes along and like promises you all this stuff and is actually, I guess, like delivering maybe at first that like
Right.
they were,
I think Hitler started off cool. Like I think he came on strong, had good ideas, and then went like completely wayward. Like his
yeah,
thing was like um trying to make Germany better and
yeah.
was like build actual highways and like do all this stuff because like everyone was poor and
And he probably always had some really bad like ideas and stuff, like as far as like who's to blame and all that stuff. But I wonder, one, when that came out, but then two, yeah, like you said, if I don't know, I mean, Like I've heard his speech like on Joe Rogan, like translated to English, and it is like,
I actually never heard it.
oh, it's
It holds up.
it holds up. It's literally like, yeah, like people don't give speeches like that in politics anymore. Like it really,
Passion.
yeah, like the passion was crazy, and I guess if your life was such dog shit that you were just like, this is our guy. But then I
Yeah.
wonder, like, I feel like even Hitler, though, like all the things we read about him, like really started deteriorating too. Like he was a odd guy. Like he had
Yeah.
the vitamin guy just like injecting him with straight sugar all the time.
Yeah.
Like which is
He
just
he
like he
lost
was
it. Like
yeah,
he was in World War One as a soldier, which I think effed everybody up if you were in World War One because you
yeah,
were just in trench warfare and you were fighting for like literally nothing. Um, so I think he was messed up from that, and like Germany was messed up from that because
yeah.
like I think it was like after World War One,
Everyone like blamed them for starting it.
yeah, and like
They had all
no,
these
World War One was like
sanctions.
completely pointless, and then
Yeah,
like 100 million people died, and
yeah,
then they're like we have to like, blame someone, so they
yeah.
blamed Germany. So I think that like kind of
Set them on this.
set the
Yeah.
wheels in motion because they're like,
We gotta get up out of this.
right, right,
It is crazy though. It's like you said though. It's like had they not spiraled so out of control, how differently the world could potentially be now. Like if they just didn't try to take over the entire world and
right.
just kept
Just
like building slowly, like I think
they could have
they'd be
just
like just
chilled.
an absolute powerhouse. They probably have like
Yeah,
military base on the moon already. Like it seemed like they gave no fucks. Like they were
right.
gonna if
They
it
were
was
better at all this kind of science. Like even if you take out the experimenting on people and like not caring about if they die or not, like
yeah.
they were still better at all that kind of science and like
Yeah, they were
space travel.
like
Like they
really
came
ahead.
here and they
Yeah.
were instantly the best guys here.
Yeah.
So like something was going on over there that made them so smart, or
Yeah.
they were just that disciplined or something.
Yeah. I I would say I think I guess it was like that important to them and like they were really figuring it out. But yeah, it's hard to figure out why they were so much better like that. The USA could defeat them in a war and then just be like, we need all these guys. Like they have like research and knowledge that like
Yeah,
we have no concept of.
I think that. So I'm trying to think what else happened in the beginning of the book was it was kind of a lot about like the Nuremberg trials and they would like take these Nazi scientists and like put them in a house together and like bug it and try to like overhear what they were saying and like it
Yeah.
never worked. So like really stupid stuff that like it wasn't super helpful.
It's also hilarious that they had them like all in the same prison.
They would
Like
just have
she
them all
talked,
chill together.
yeah, and like she talked like about that a lot, and I like there's one thing that I wrote down, like this one guy was just like constantly reprimanded because he was like whacking off at the bathtub, and like it's just it's just hilarious that to think you had like 100 of these guys that went from like these high ranking SS guys to all of a sudden
Just
it's like they're in like
running
a
concentration camps.
yeah
Like no joke,
yeah,
guys.
and
Like
now they're
horrible
essentially
people.
in a prison camp, just like bullshitting with each other and being like, this
Do you
sucks. Like they were
remember?
constantly like looking for like upgrades. They'd be like complaining about stuff
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
time.
they wanted like better like
Yeah.
comforters and
Which
stuff. Like,
which just like
dude, you
shows
killed
you the
like a
delusion.
million
I
people and you
know.
want like a
And
blanket?
they like all thought they were gonna get out. Like,
They were all just like not sure why they were even there.
yeah.
Do you remember the Nazi basketball game?
No.
It was like a really quick. She was like, it was just so weird how they handled like like holding these scientists while the trials were going on. But there's at one point where she was like describing very quickly like they were just playing like pickup basketball, like the Nazi scientists
Yeah.
in like the courtyard or like in some gym or something where the trial was. And I was like, this is so bizarre that we
It's
were like letting these
strange.
guys play basketball.
I know.
And
Like
also,
we couldn't figure out like I'm sure part of the confusion was like how we handled it. Like it seemed like there was some guys like telling them this is just a formality. Like we have to put you guys on trial, but then you're going to come work for us and make a lot of
yeah,
money.
I think,
And then
yeah,
like other guys would come in and just be like, you guys are going to die here and we're going to torture you. And they'd be like, oh, whoa,
hold on.
hold on.
Hold on here. We
Yeah.
got one basketball game to
Yeah.
play, and then we're gonna talk about
Yeah.
this. How many Nazi scientists do you think we could take basketball? I think we could go like 2-on-6.
I mean,
They were
seem to
like
be ahead of their time.
they were like 5'7" and like unhealthy and fat.
Were they?
Yeah, like she would describe all of them. They'd be like, she'd be like, he was an ugly. Some of them, she was like, he was like handsome, but like they always describe the men's looks in those books.
They always
It was
do.
really
Yeah.
weird. There was like he
Yeah.
was so good looking.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm just not picturing 1945 Nazi scientists as like
Being too
balling
good.
out. Like if we were to take them on, maybe we like got two guys, play like
Yeah.
4-on-4.
Yeah.
I think we could take them.
I don't dispute it. I think we'd have a good chance, but it shows you like what the value of those traits are versus the value of the traits of like making chemicals that kill everyone. It's like they rose to the top of like two different governments.
They
And me and you were sitting in a garage drinking beers. And
they're
it's like,
smarter, but we're
yeah,
better at stuff.
for sure.
I'm gonna give them that.
I did have a note about what we were talking about before. Just like you could see how when your focus becomes like so narrow-minded just on taking over the world and like block out everything else that it really you do just become like exponentially better at stuff. And
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
but I do think it's weird that like we look back on history and we like we want to be like these guys can't hold down jobs and all this stuff because they were part of a regime that like obviously tried to take over the world and did a bunch of horrible
Blah
shit.
blah.
Yeah, but it's like also we buy all of our stuff from China and like China's regime now is still like obviously not ideal. And like we pretend like it's okay. Like they have that set of slaves, like what are they called?
The Uyghurs.
Yeah. That literally like are slaves. They're like current day slaves.
I think
They never gets talked about.
it's true. I think we've said this before, but like you almost can't take up any human rights stance
Yeah,
or progressive type of thought process if
yeah,
you have an iPhone,
yeah.
right?
It's insane.
You just have to kind of be like, yeah, like I'm cool with whatever's happening because I
Yes.
need this thing with buttons on it.
Yeah. But then it's like we go on these crazy things like the big thing now is with Saudi Arabia and like these comedians going there for like $1.6
Yeah.
million paydays.
What? I,
And it's literally just like they have human rights violations all the time. And it's just like, yeah, so does China, but it's like because
so does the
we're
United
buddy buddy,
States,
yes. And it's
right?
like, yeah, because we're buddy buddy with them and we're not buddy buddy with them, it's like it's all over the news. And it's like, what is the difference? What is the difference between Dave Chappelle getting,
His
a
his bag.
4x, yeah, paycheck to go do a set in Saudi Arabia versus an American company going to China and essentially using slaves to make all their products.
Right. Like it's if you don't want to go, like obviously don't go. That's fine. But if someone else is like, yeah, I want to get that
Yeah. Like,
bag,
how is that news?
makes no sense. Like try
Yeah.
having a wedding in Yemen without getting bombed by the U.S. government.
Yeah.
But like if a comedian does a comedy show in the U.S., no one is like, hey, we just bombed Yemen
Yeah.
last week. You can't do comedy here because
So
we do
weird.
bad stuff. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh no, Saudi Arabia.
But
Sure, like maybe they do bad stuff, but like why are we drawing the it's like such a weird line to draw.
yeah.
Like everyone's doing bad shit.
Yes.
They shouldn't do it, but like it doesn't why is it up to comedians to like take the stand to not get paid when everyone else is doing
Yeah.
shit that you don't see?
And a lot of it like doesn't really get talked about. Like I know China was having that problem with like Taiwan.
Hmm.
But I never saw on like any news stations or really like that much info on like what it was actually about other than like them not wanting them to recognize that they're a country. But like I don't know what they were doing about it or like what terrible stuff they were actually doing at the time. And it's like we don't really talk about these other countries in like negative lights unless we have like an issue with them over something else. Like
Right.
Saudi Arabia with no problem going on TV and just being like they're, shit country with shit rules and a shit
They
government
hate
and
us for our freedom.
yes, and like, we want nothing to do with them and we don't want our businesses there and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But then it's like these countries that we're like, I guess, allied with in some way, which I guess makes sense in some way, but it's like the hypocrisy of it is just crazy.
It,
Like to
it
go on TV and talk
it's
that much shit about Saudi Arabia when
it's a
you're
fake line to draw in the sand because
yeah,
there's so much other stuff that you could care about that you don't. So
yeah,
like maybe you're just a different comedian that didn't get invited,
yeah,
and now you're jealous and you're
yeah.
using that to kind of like hate on people. But like, hey, the people that went, it's like all the best
It
comedians,
is. I'm like,
right? So like,
yeah. And
you know,
why would they
almost
not?
no one said no. I know like Shane said no,
Oh,
but
yeah.
yeah, I think he was like, I don't.
He probably doesn't need to.
He
He's
doesn't
making
need
so much
to.
money.
He's
Yeah.
probably like he might be the richest one.
Oh, really?
I mean,
Right
maybe not
now,
like
yeah.
Chappelle and Bill Burr, but like
Yeah.
he's in like every movie now, commercial,
Yeah. Yeah.
doing
That
his
Netflix
thing. Then
show's
like
probably got
yeah,
a fat
so
little
like he
figure for
didn't
them.
like some of the other guys. I'm sure the money is like holy crap, but
Yeah.
for him maybe it wasn't. So like I don't know if that's why he didn't, but
You're also taking some
most people
element of
went
a risk.
clearly.
Yeah.
Like if Chappelle's going, Bill,
Totally. Yeah.
these
Big
are
names.
small names going. Pete
Yeah.
Davidson, like these guys all are, I'm sure, rich because they're in movies,
Oh,
they're
for
doing more
sure. Yeah.
stuff like
But like, yeah, like that amount of money to go do a thing, like
Scrubs.
it's
So
also crazy how much money they have.
Tim Dillon said,
Like they always say, like the Saudi Arabian princes are like
"Oh,
the richest people in
they're
the
the
world.
richest." Yeah,
Yeah, they're just none of it's like,
I think he was going, and they're going to give him 375K per show.
yeah,
And it was like you do multiple shows, and then he ended up getting cut because he was like talking about it on Rogan, and we saw
okay,
that he was like making, obviously just joking about it.
yeah,
Um,
and they were just like, we don't watch anyone.
yeah, I think they
Yeah,
thought because he was like
that's what I'd be worried about.
he was
Is
just
like,
making light of the fact
yeah,
that like they're Saudi Arabia,
yeah,
they do all this stuff. He was making jokes.
like they will arrest you for
I
like.
would be a little scared,
Me too.
probably.
I would, if it was like, if I was like Dave Chappelle or something, I would, one, be really careful about the set that I'm doing. I wouldn't make a habit of it. Like, I would want the set cleared by every single person that needs to clear
I
it.
think I'm sure like
They would.
precautions were taken.
And then as soon as it was over, I'd be hopping on a private jet, going immediately back home.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't want to take the risk of like smoking a cigarette in the wrong part of town
Yep.
and like going to jail for 30 years.
Yep.
But yeah, those lines that we draw, and I think that was the whole thing with Paperclip. It was like people couldn't figure out like which line to draw as far as like
And-
which scientists are okay, which scientists aren't
Right. How do we
okay.
decide if
Yeah. How valuable are they to us versus how not
right?
valuable? Like I bet a lot of the ones that were executed on the spot were just paper
I
pushers
think that's
that,
probably right.
yeah,
I think
that weren't actually that knowledgeable on the
right,
topic.
like we couldn't get value from them,
Yeah.
so we were like, we're gonna execute these guys,
Yeah.
so that way we can show everyone we executed a bunch of guys,
Yes.
and all the good ones
Yeah. We're
that can
gonna
help us, we're gonna take.
Yes, we're gonna hide a lot of that information. Think how much easier it probably was to hide that information in like
Oh my God, I
1950.
think that's an issue. Is that like
Like
what
journalists
the
weren't going and like
government's just
reporting.
doing like so much secret stuff and going around and so like what so we find out about this and finally gets declassified like years later. Like what else are they doing?
Oh yeah,
Like what are they doing right now that will come out in 50 years and stuff? And it's like it,
horrible stuff, I'm sure.
like I don't think my parents don't know about this and they were not that they were alive at the time, but like getting close
Yeah,
and like I don't think like that generation like most people know that like yeah like all the scientists and like all not even just scientists but like other guys came they just like
yeah.
came to the US and like chilled
I
and
think
like
you're.
had a house and
I
like
know.
in your neighborhood.
I think you're just constantly on to the next thing. And even today, it'll be like there'll be a big story that it's like people should be talking about for a while, and then all of a sudden it's like there's UFOs flying over New Jersey that nobody's talking about or can explain, and like the
Yeah.
government's just like, oh, I don't know what those are, and it's just like, oh, I think it's a false sighting, and it's just like, what? And then you need answers on that, so it's like you're just constantly jumping from
They
one
just
thing to the next.
redirect you.
Yeah,
Don't really give you a straight answer until it falls out. Like, can we just concentrate on one thing
yeah,
as a collective
yeah,
and just find out what it is and then move on to the next?
yeah.
But instead, everyone's just all over the place.
All right, so rating.
Let me just make sure I don't have anything else. Because, or so the second half of the book, she kind of got into a lot more of what they kind of did over here, which I really liked.
Yeah.
Like these were like celebrated guys here. Like they were throwing, there's like awards in these
Oh
guys'
yeah,
names, like the
yeah,
Werner von
yeah,
Braun Award or
yeah,
something, and like scholarships, and
yeah,
they had parades for these guys. So it wasn't like
yeah.
they were just here chilling.
No,
So,
they
they
were
were
like in the upper echelons of
celebrated.
government. Yeah.
I thought it was funny that they were talking about these Nazi officials as like if they were draft prospects. They're like, we're really eyeing this guy. Like the
Yeah,
Russians are
yeah.
really taking a look at
Yes, I
him. We're
know. We
gonna have
got
to
to get
let's
this
get him
guy. I
over here. I
know.
was like, dude, what are we drafting here?
And it was right around the same time as the CIA was just started too. So this was kind of like the CIA's first
Yeah.
like assignment almost was like, how can we essentially use these guys to beat the Russians and be better than
Yep.
the Russians?
It was also kind of cool. She kind of got into some of the stuff we've talked about a lot, where with the LSD, Operation Bluebird, Operation
Yeah,
Artichoke, MK Ultra, that gets into like everything. I like that anti-animal research at the end. Where they were like finding research to wipe out entire animal populations.
Yeah.
It's like absolutely crazy. Um,
And crops too. Like it was just kind of like if we
yeah,
can just release this bug or insect or this pesticide that's going to kill all the crops, then it'll just kill all the people.
right. Yeah. So like, if we can kill like if this population relies on a crop or an animal, if
Yeah.
we could just kill that crop or animal, the population will follow. So
Which
like,
is
that's the
like
kind of stuff they were literally doing.
totally. And that was like the biggest concern back then. Like that's when we read the polio book and it was literally like people's like number one fear, like government's number one fear back then was like if these crops get ruined by these insects or pests or whatever it is,
Mhm.
like everyone's gonna starve to death.
Yep.
Every single person. And then war's gonna break out because people are starving to death, like, civil unrest. Like their number one fear was that. So it was like when they started coming up with these pesticides that they also kind of knew at a certain point were literally poisoning people, they were almost okay with it for a while because they're like, well, the alternative is like people starve to death and we can't have that. So
Right.
like they were almost good with it.
Which is insane. So they were basically like, yo, this is super dangerous. You can't do it on the main land. You have to go to an island.
Yeah,
And they were like, okay. So they went to Plum Island, which is
yeah,
like right off the coast of Connecticut. So
yeah,
like really, really remote.
yeah.
And I think it's Lyme, Connecticut, and that's where
Okay.
Lyme disease was founded.
Oh, really?
And then the government's like, no, that's not where Lyme disease came from. And they're like, well, dude, it's called Lyme disease. And it was
Yeah,
at this place where you're testing nerve agents to decimate populations of crops or animals.
yeah,
And it's called Lyme disease. We think it was from that. And everyone's like, no, that's a conspiracy theory. It's
yeah.
like, dude, what are you talking about? Um, Warner Von Braun got a contract with Disney. Um, Strokehold was a freezing guy. That was those were crazy tests.
How long it took like to freeze someone in
Yeah, they're like,
freezing water.
can you, if you were freezing to death, could
Yeah,
you, what was it? Can they find something that you could like do to not freeze to death,
yeah. Because
essentially?
they were like, worried about uh SS pilots like going down the ocean and then how quickly they would freeze to death, but even if they like pulled their
Crazy. And
yeah.
then the last thing I had was there, she talked twice about some guy who came up with a process to desalinate water, like I guess get the salt out, and he
Yeah.
like did it. Like, is that not still a thing? Like, I thought we couldn't get like water from the ocean.
You have to have like
This thing,
yeah.
but like he did it.
I don't
But
know.
like,
Like
there's
you have to
people
like
without water in the world. Why don't they just give like this guy did it?
yeah, you would have to live close to the ocean. I bet all
But
the
like,
people, yeah, without water just don't live anywhere close to the ocean.
but I thought like I don't know, but I thought like even in California, you're the ocean right there. Like, you can't get that water to be drinking water, no matter what you did.
That's a
I
good
don't know if that's
question.
true. That's just
Yeah.
what I always thought before this.
I know that that's a thing because like people that have like boats will have one just in case like their boat gets stranded in the middle of the ocean.
Oh,
Like they'll always have like a little thing that gets the salt out of the water.
we might do further research.
Yeah. I'm
Because there
sure it
shouldn't
exists.
be
But yeah. But if
people
it does
without drinking
exist,
water if you can
yeah.
drink the ocean water.
The ocean water would also be though like so dirty though because of all the pollution and
But
stuff.
like, yeah,
So you would have
you have to go pretty
to
deep.
not only yeah, but you would also think though that would
Like,
that
say
work
like
for
you're in
pollution?
Africa
Yeah.
and they're like, hey,
Are you in the middle of Africa or are you in like Madagascar?
well, let's start on the science,
Yeah.
like, work our way in. I don't know, like if there's a thing, like,
Even like us, like we're in New Jersey and we're pretty close to the coast, and it's like, are you walking to the Jersey
but
Shore every
like
day?
if
Like they don't have a lot of those people that don't have water, they don't have cars.
right, but like if you're uh one of those things like the Peace Corps and
Yeah,
you're going to bring water to these people,
yeah,
right now they're probably just bringing like water bottles,
yeah.
but like
And then they try to like build them wells.
and build wells and stuff.
Yeah,
But like you'd have to think in all these years
just
of
relocate them to the ocean.
right, or
Better
like
view.
you have a plant at the ocean and then
Yeah,
you can have trucks that bring it to like villages, bring some water to
that's
villages.
interesting.
But like right, 'cause like
That
how
could be
many
our next invention is a
this whatever this guy did.
desalinator truck. Yeah,
Right.
that just
Even if you have
fills.
like the processing plant and then you can put it into bottle it, well, put into
Yeah.
a way that you can transfer to
Just
people.
drive this truck a couple hours back and forth every day.
I mean, think about how many billions of dollars have probably gone into getting the people in Africa water.
Yeah.
Like, let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
You got the oceans.
I wonder though if you're in the middle of Africa,
It's
how
gonna get
far is it to
harder.
the ocean?
We're gonna work along the outsides, and we're gonna work our way in, because
Yeah.
then
Because then they need
everyone here is gonna have water, and then it's not as far because now you're working in.
to just keep passing it
You
forward.
just
Like the
reach a
people
little
on,
further.
yeah,
Now this guy's water.
yeah, the people on the coast get half the water, but then they have
Mhm.
to pass a half on to the next
Right, you just keep
village.
asking. But like
Yeah,
once now you have the whole outside that ring, which is good, and they're healthy with water.
yeah,
And now they're a little bit more able to help bring water further in because
yeah,
now it's kind of like you just keep paying it forward.
yeah. And the water situation is crazy though, that it's like when you actually think about like where our water comes from, a lot of it is just like piss water. It's literally just like
It's
piss and shit water that
yeah,
gets like treated to take the piss and shit out. But like,
it's actually a good segue
yeah, like
to our next book.
it is. And like that was actually in the next book, I think that's why I was first one
Yeah.
remember. He talks about how there's like antidepressants in the water and shit that like everyone that's like drinking water, even if you're drinking like Poland Spring, you're literally getting some like antidepressants because people are pissing it out so much when like 50% of the population's using it. But it's
Mhm.
also like if we can't treat out the SSRIs,
And the birth control
yes,
and the heavy metals and the
yes.
arsenic, like
Yeah. So it's like if you're not treating that out of the water, you're not treating almost crap. You're
I'd
just probably like
be,
chlorinating
I'd
it to
rather
get
have
rid of.
salt water than SSRI water.
Yeah.
You really think about it. But we should rate Paperclip. I just want to see it. Jeez. Okay. It's a tough rate for me because the topic's amazing.
Yeah.
Just the fact that that happened is crazy. The fact that the government kind of like secretly brought over Nazi scientists to like be the boys here,
Yeah.
why, um, is just wild.
It is.
And I know like we know a lot about it. We listen to like podcasts and they talk about it a lot, but like
Yeah.
I think most people don't know.
It's in like a lot of comedies. It's like a quick little joke, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Like, oh,
Yeah.
there's Nazis in Argentina. That's
Yes.
true.
And
And
like I know in one show it's just like you have the Nazis to thank for that and this and that,
yeah,
you know?
and
So
then like specifically book wise, like she does a great job. Thorough. First half was tough to follow with the names. I found myself zoning out a lot,
yeah.
but I was like interested, and I was like obviously wanted to keep going. And then I thought the end was very, very much better.
Yeah.
Um,
So what are you giving it?
I think because I've tried to like place it with some of the other books we have, like
Yeah.
clearly not a five.
We need that. We need the board, you know, so we just kind of look over
I
and
could
just like
slide it right
where,
in, I'm
yeah,
sure.
yes,
That's for next time. Um, it's not in the tier below fives,
no,
not even close. But it's also not bad in
no,
any way. Like it was good. I would recommend it. But sometimes I'd recommend a book. I'd be like, you have to read this book. Like
yes,
it's awesome. Like this book,
yeah.
I'd say like I'd give caveats. I'd say like it's good, but like it's a little
If you're
long. It's a little
interested in this,
slow.
yeah,
But like at the end of the day, you'll be happy that you have some of this information in your head.
yeah,
Um, so I don't, I suck at rating. I'm thinking like a 4.25.
okay, so that's a little bit higher. I'd like
Oh,
really
okay.
low fours,
Okay, that's not poor.
yeah, like a 4.05.
Okay,
I
I
could
think that's
also
right.
see it high threes, like a 3.9
I
something.
feel bad dipping the
I would
threes.
have to see it on a list, you know,
Four
and
one
see
five or that average might be like
that might be right.
that might be
Yeah.
the right rating.
But
Um,
yeah, I think if it's clearly not a five, it's in that tier below. It's not one of
eh,
those fours where you're like, this was so close to being a five. It's not like a 4.5 or a 4.6.
yeah,
But
yeah.
also, like you said, it wasn't bad and like really well researched, really well
Topic
written.
alone gets you like
It's just
up to the top, like
she doesn't have that like charisma as some of the other people that like make you feel like you're in it. Like
for
I never felt like I
sure.
was like in it,
She's more like kind of like
giving you the
droning
information.
along, and
Yeah,
it's kind of like
yeah,
a slow
yes,
feed of information,
Yeah,
which is just her style. That's part of like her being so thorough,
totally.
but it makes it kind of harder to like
Be like, this is a
fully
must read.
invested, where you like
Yeah,
almost forget that you're listening or
yeah.
reading to it.
I think for her, like to do a topic that's that broad, like where you have 200 different people and all this and all that, like I think that's probably just not a good fit for her as like a
Mm,
researcher. I think she would do so much better. Like if she just picked one scientist, like
mm.
pick her favorite Nazi scientist and just do like 10 hours on that one guy.
Right, like if she did Werner von Braun and like the
Yes.
Strughold guy,
Yes.
like the top two
I
guys,
think it would have been so much better.
right? Yeah, like some of the other stuff was
Yeah.
definitely filler. Or else I might have just kind of missed some. But overall, I think 415 is
Yes.
pretty,
Solid job by Annie.
yeah. And that leads us into our next book. I just want to pull up the title because like the full titles I can't always remember.
Lost connections, right?
Yep, Lost Connections, Uncovering the Real Causes of Depression and the Unexpected Solutions. Do you want to give like initial thoughts?
Yeah, 5 star. Phenomenal. I loved it. I think it was one of like I had it as like I know we've only read like 45 books,
That's a lot of
but
books.
I think it's like a top 5 all-time book.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think like I would put it in the category of breath. I would put it
Wow.
in yeah. I
Oh,
loved it. Like
do we have to probably
loved it.
shoot about this?
Yeah.
If you're gonna drop in a 5 star,
It
um,
it's in I thought it was like amazing. I thought it was like everything I wanted out of a book like this.
are we starting with ratings?
Yeah, what would you have it?
So the first, um, 3/4. I almost texted you. I was like, we're in the middle of a 5 star, brother.
Yeah. So that's actually my
Um,
note was like 3 quarters in, and my note just says 5 star must read top 5 book of all time.
it's
Like the first, I agree. The first 3 quarters were insane. The last quarter not as good. I think he just did some like cleaning up at the end,
mhm,
but I can't hold that against the first
that's a good point.
7.5 hours of the book.
That's a fair point. Well, let's go through it, and then obviously we'll rate it at the end.
Yeah,
Um, but that, I mean, for my first thoughts was kind of the same thing. Like must read, loved it, loved every second. First of all, a little bit like very different style than any Jacobsen, who's like her strength is research.
yeah,
This guy's a writer.
yes,
He is
yes,
a good writer. I
yes.
don't know what that means, but
And
like,
you read it, and I listened to it, and he, I think, did the audio.
okay,
And like he is this really just smooth
ooh,
British, like
ooh,
it was like
smooth.
I loved it.
He like organized well,
Yeah,
stories like so easy to follow, but a
yeah.
lot of information. Just
He
kind
is
of was
such a
able
good
to hook
writer.
you in every chapter
Yeah.
with like a good way of like telling the story and presenting everything.
Yes.
That's how you write.
Yes.
I mean,
Research, personal connections, just so organized and how he laid
clear.
it out. Yeah.
Like maybe one of the top 5 writers. Like that's
Yeah.
like a Malcolm Gladwell's a good writer. He's a good writer.
I looked
Um,
up what he's working on now and I
he's
couldn't find
all
anything. But
he
I'm sure he has a bunch of them.
so he has a book on like legalizing drugs. I think like the drug war.
Okay.
He's a book on and his newest book is on like the fat drugs, like those Ozempics.
Okay.
And then he has one other one, like Chasing the Screen. Um, he has other like 3 or 4
I
other books.
know
I
he's
think one other
successful
might be
because
on the
he
list.
mentions that at the end pretty much that like it was easier for him to get his life together because he was saying like he's had books that were successful, so he's got some money in the bank and he, gets to pick and choose like his
Yeah.
projects pretty much and like,
Yep. Yep.
and all that. But we can get more into that at the end. But
Yeah. Should we? So like overall, the book is kind of like taking a look at depression. So this guy was like, "Hey, I was a person that like has been battling with depression my whole life.
yeah,
I'm not gonna like." I did kind of like how he's like, "I'm not gonna like dive into my own story and make this
yeah,
all about me," but like
yeah,
that's kind of why I became interested in it.
totally.
He went to the doctor when he was, let's say, 18 or
Yeah,
something. He was like, "Hey doc, I'm feeling sad." Doctor is like, "Okay, great. Like, here's a prescription. This
yeah,
like this is because your brain chemistry is off. It just means that you have low serotonin, and once we get those serotonin levels up, your brain chemistry is going to be good. You're going to feel a lot better." And he's like, "Oh, that's actually kind of sick."
yeah.
So they give him these pills. He goes home, he takes them, he starts to feel a lot better. A few months in, he notices like he's gaining weight. He's actually kind of feeling depressed again. So he
But
goes,
he was like a big advocate, like when he first started, like
yeah,
a
he's like, this
huge
is,
advocate. He's like telling every single person he knows, like these things have like saved my life. They're amazing, like they work so well. But then I think like it was probably a little bit longer. It was like after a couple of
what
years,
was it?
yeah, he was like, wildly overweight all of a sudden and not feeling as happy and feeling bad
And I
again.
think like on the way,
And then they kept dosing him
yeah,
up.
that's what I was,
Yeah. So like he was at like 10 milligrams and they dosed him up to 20 milligrams and then 40 milligrams and 50 milligrams to the point where he was like taking so much. And I guess because he's a little bit older now, this was like, like a ways back where they probably don't know as much as they maybe know now about some of those meds that like
yeah.
how when do you think he was doing that?
Well, yeah, no, I think you're right. I just think it's just like still happening now
Oh, with
with
everything.
yeah, like
Yeah, like if you go to the doctor and you say like, "Oh, this isn't working," they're either gonna switch your
mhm,
medication or they're just gonna up your
yeah,
medication. And they're gonna like ask you. They're just gonna be like, "Do you
right.
want to up your medication or do you want to
And
maybe switch to something different?" So like,
right.
which is
I
crazy.
think that's what he said too. He was like, the doctor, like, he didn't ask me, like, what's going on in my life? What's making me sad? He didn't ask one question. He just kind of wrote the
No.
prescription and went. And then I think, yeah, like, so this went on for like a long time where he was just kind of gradually increasing the dose, but it's still never getting better. And I think it led him to kind of be like, hey, like, what's going on here? I've been doing this for 10 years or
Yeah.
so. And clearly this isn't working. Like, what else are people doing for like in my situation? Like, how else are people helping or looking
Yeah.
for help? So he started to like kind of research into everything there could be about depression.
Yeah.
And like the first chunk of the book is like, hey, what are the 8 or 9 causes of depression?
Yeah.
And the second half of the book is kind of like fixes for it, but maybe we should focus on like the causes first and like
Yeah.
that part. Because I thought like laid it out nicely. I think I wrote them down if we need.
I did too. That's what I'm
Nice.
looking at now.
But each one I was like, got me pumped up because I was like, this makes sense. He's hitting all the right points. A lot of crossover to like Untethered Soul,
Yeah.
The Liberated Mind.
And
Um,
just like so well written each chapter, like
yeah,
gives you the title and then he like gives you a story. So like first
yeah,
one was like disconnection from meaningful work, and it's like he talked about the guy that was mixing the paint
yeah.
and why he was depressed, and it's like he would go to work every day and just like mix paint, and if he was good at his job at that day, like he wouldn't get yelled at. If he like wasn't good at his job, he'd get yelled at, and then he'd go home. And he just like every day hated going to work
Right.
until
Didn't matter what he did. If he had an
yeah,
idea, it
good
didn't
day, bad day.
matter. It was just kind of like, he was a cog in the wheel.
Yeah. But then he goes into like stats too. Like that's why I think that like I just loved it so much because it was like those personal stories and then it would just be like statistics to back it up. Like if it
Yep.
had that Malcolm Gladwell kind of feel,
Yeah,
but
yeah. The studies and the
yeah,
statistics. I think that's what we like,
yeah. And like he said, 13% of people like their work and brings them a sense of joy.
which is insane.
Yeah.
And it's what you do most of your time. People
Yes.
like we forget about.
Yeah, 60% feel like it's a job and they don't take anything necessarily more than that. They don't like their job. They don't necessarily dread going to work. They just look at it as like a job, which I would say I definitely fall into that category.
Same,
And then the
same,
the rest absolutely despise it and hate it every day.
same.
So
I,
that's about what would that be? 17%, 27%, 60 plus 13.
it's not a math podcast.
Yeah. 73,
We
27,
read,
27%. So 27% of people hate their job, that's a lot. That's more than a quarter of the world.
I'd say, wait, I thought it was. What was the first thing you read?
13% of people like their job. 13.
Right, right, right. But then
60 feel like it's a job and
I'd almost say that 60 is in like the negative bucket. You know what I mean?
yeah, yo, it definitely is. Like he
Yeah.
wasn't saying like, oh, like
Oh, I
you feel
got
good
you. I
about
got
it.
you. Yeah.
It's just like you're not rewarded, you don't like it, but you
You can
know that
tolerate
it's a
it long
job and you
enough
can
to get your
tolerate it.
money, and then
Yeah.
you can do the things that
You
you like
don't
to
like
do on the
absolutely
side.
despise it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that
Uh,
it's like it's a little sidebar, but like, is that the best we can do? Where it's like,
Oh,
hey,
13%, like they're
right, and
yeah.
then like the others, the chunk of people is just like, this is just something I need to do so I can
Yes.
do other stuff, and it's
Yeah,
like, is that the best we can all do as a society? Where like most
totally.
people are like just going through the motions like 80% of their days,
Yeah,
and then just like you have the 2 days in the
I
weekend.
know. Yeah.
No
It's
wonder everyone's depressed.
I mean, that's really, I think, the big takeaway. And I think like there's been this huge uptick in all these like social anxieties and depression, all this stuff with like the younger generation. And it's like, yeah, I mean, that really fits with this book because life is the worst
I
that
think
it's ever been.
that was like one of the points where it's like the scientific thought process for depression was, or like the general population thought that depression is caused by an imbalance in your brain chemistry.
Yeah.
And he kind of went into this really nice thing in the beginning where he said, like, first of all, they don't know that much about brain chemistry. Like, there's no, what is a balanced brain chemistry? Like, they don't know
No,
what that is.
they
So, like,
can't measure serotonin either.
right, like,
So
how
when
do you
they tell
know?
you, yeah, you have low levels of serotonin, there's no test for that.
And there's no
Zero.
like comparison, like, oh, this is a balanced
Yes,
brain and
these are
this is an
normal
imbalanced
levels.
brain.
Yeah.
Like, they don't know.
No.
So, what he basically said was like there were some early thoughts of that into like the in the 50s that was like, hey, this might be because people have like brain chemistry. Like some scientists are
Yeah.
like as like a theory,
Yeah.
and the drug companies saw that and like pounced on it,
Yes.
and they were like, boom, here's a pill
And
because it's gonna
people
fix your brain
do
chemistry, and it just became part of the
yes.
normal
Yeah.
conversation of things and the advertising, and they became such huge companies. And doctors, according to him, have like never ever really gotten behind it,
No,
but they're kind of just told
they just push what they're told to
what to
push.
do. Like,
Yeah.
hey, like you have to prescribe this for this, and it's like, okay, blah blah blah, and you write it, and
What's
you don't
cr
think about it.
and what's crazy about those anti-anxiety and antidepressant meds is some of them are SSRIs, which are like they prevent your body from making too much serotonin or using too much
Mm,
serotonin. And then the other ones are inhibitors, and they have like the exact same effect. So like some of the
mm.
antidepressant meds like stop you from releasing serotonin, and others like make you release more serotonin, and they have like the exact same uh whatever effect that would be.
So they're
So it's like they
giving
have no idea what's going on.
they're giving billions of pills to millions of people, and I have no idea what they're doing or what they should be solving. They just
No.
know they make billions of dollars by it.
Yes. And that like at least temporarily it does seem to work, but it's
But like if you look at like the number of pills people are given goes
oh
up like this.
totally.
The number of people who are depressed every
Yes.
year goes up like
Yeah.
this. Like, okay,
Yeah.
clearly it's not working
That was
because
like
they should,
therapy. Yeah, that's like the therapy too. Like that, it's like one of the women that went on Joe Rogan was talking about that it's like the more we tell kids, oh, it's okay, you're depressed and it's okay,
Mm,
you're anxious, and the more we like tell them about these things, it's like the more anxious and depressed we're making the kids.
I think I know that clip or a clip from that one you're talking about where
Yeah,
she was like, even just running errands reduces depression about like 50%. Like
yeah,
short term, it's just like getting out and like doing something and accomplishing something.
yeah,
So I think that's what he kind of the theme that he I don't think he said specifically this straight up, but it was like it's not a problem with your brain chemistry. That's not why you're
yeah,
depressed. You're depressed because your life is depressing.
totally.
Like your life
Yeah.
sucks, and
And then
that's
he
why you're
gives like,
depressed. And then
yeah,
he kind of breaks it down into like work, family, things like childhood trauma, which are
yeah.
a little bit less out of your control.
And even
Um,
like trauma, recency trauma. Like there was a story about a woman that like got divorced, or
mm,
like her kid died.
that one was brutal.
Yeah, and it was literally just like, like after like it was like some short amount of time, like
It's like,
3 months.
yeah,
They were just like, oh, you're not over this. Like here's some Prozac or here's some
right.
this.
So basically, like the doctors would kind of say like say something traumatic happened to you. Like this woman was like carried full term pregnancy.
Yeah,
I think she was like high risk, but then like had the baby and they had to make some decision and then the
yeah,
baby didn't make it. And then she was like distraught over it because she
yeah,
thought she was like, I'm a failure as a
yeah.
person.
Like couldn't get
It's
out
like
of bed and all that
a
stuff, and
normal reaction to
yeah,
happen. The doctors were like, your brain chemistry is off.
yes,
Because this is like, no,
yeah,
like like there it wasn't like, oh, you just suffered the most traumatic thing that ever
yes.
happened
It's
to
gonna
you.
take time. It's gonna
Here's a
take
pill.
years.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
may never ever get
fully
fully
recover.
over that. You
Yeah.
almost just have to now like not
You're
compartmentalize,
at
but like yeah,
zero on happiness, but like let's try to get you to 2%, then
Yeah,
4%, then 8%. Let's just try to like get a little bit up. But yeah, I mean, that stuff is crazy that like they treat trauma the same way they treat everything when it comes to like depression, anxiety, and all that stuff.
right. Like they don't give you a chance. I think you said like a chance to grieve or a
Yeah,
chance to like kind of figure out how your new life is going to be, or
like
if
immersive therapy and
right, or if
how can we get over this and just
right,
time,
like or if
like
you're poor, you're working three jobs and you're a single mother to feed your kids, and
yeah.
then you kind of get into a rut because you're depressed, and it's like oh your brain chemistry is off. And it's like no, dude, like your life is depressing
Yeah.
right now, and like
Yeah.
yeah, like I think at the end we kind of get into like maybe ways we can try to fix things that
Yeah.
make you not depressed, but like right now, like your shit sucks. That's why
Yes.
you're depressed.
And it's not like a
So the pill
shot.
is not going to help you
Yes.
on your three jobs, but
Yes.
like trying to
Yeah.
help your kids, you're doing everything
Yes.
you can. Like that just sucks for a
Yeah.
while.
And he did such a good job of like it never felt like he was taking a personal shot at anyone
Hmm.
for like one choosing to go on meds or not meds, but like totally understanding it and he had done it himself, but more just like taking a shot at society. And I've like had heard people like say this before, like where it's literally just like imagine a society that makes you depressed and then gives you medicine to treat your depression.
Yeah, wait, I had a sick quote from this book.
And that book, like that really kind of sums up the book, I think.
Oh, yeah, let me,
And I think it's so well, like we were saying, like when you're a good writer like this, it's like you could take something that you've even heard before, like a quote like that,
some shit.
but like it just makes it so much more meaningful when you read the book that like that does fit.
Yeah.
Like,
He said depression is a normal response to abnormal life experiences.
yeah,
So it's just like you're just your body's trying to tell you like something's wrong.
yes,
Like you have to do something to change
yes,
your what like
yeah,
your environment, your
yeah,
surroundings because right now like shit sucks.
yeah,
Like whatever's going on like absolutely sucks. And I did have a few more things on the drug companies before we go too far.
yeah.
Um I didn't know SSRI stood for selective serotonin
Re-up
reuptake
inhibitors.
inhibitors. That was
But
nice to know.
so there's like,
One in five US adults are taking at least one.
yeah,
That's
and like
important
there's
supply.
inhibitors, and then there's also the opposite of an inhibitor. I don't know what that is, even what
It's
that word would be. But yeah, it essentially has the complete opposite. Like I've heard Hamilton Morris talk
mm,
about it on Joe Rogan, and he was saying it has the complete opposite pharmacological job, and yet it has the exact same effect. So it like just
mm,
shows you we know absolutely nothing about it to be like someone with like high blood pressure, like high sugar levels, like you giving them more sugar and then you giving them less sugar, like having the exact same effect on your body.
yep, yeah, exactly. So I think I have that. The studies and like the or and trials are done by the pharmaceutical companies and they don't all have to get released.
Yeah.
So if you do a study and it doesn't work in your favor, you just don't release it. And you
Yeah.
only have to show two trials where there's at least some positive effect.
Yeah.
So just 51%. So you can do 100 trials. If
Yeah.
two of them you get a little bit of some good results, you just do that and then your drug is good.
Yeah.
So they said that one trial had 245 patients. The drug company only released results for 27 of the patients because that
Yeah.
was the ones that it
And we
worked
know
for.
this from Turtle. Like that is it is the drug companies and the drug trials are the most corrupt thing I think I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yep. So they did a study and I think it's a little bit different, but like all right, if depression is caused by low serotonin, if we took a bunch of people, we lower their serotonin, they
Yeah.
should become depressed.
Yeah.
So they tested that, lowered people's serotonin, none of them became
Yeah.
depressed, which is like, okay, so like maybe
Yes.
that's not the right answer.
Yeah.
So like let's go on to the next thing. Like, but no, it's like that somehow became the thing that like
Yeah.
is
He talked a lot about like the metal stick too that was taking people's pain away, like the placebo effect.
oh yeah. I
Yeah,
like that
so
a lot.
yeah, shout out Charlie from It's Always Sunny.
Yeah.
So it was like this wand that they were selling to
Yeah, tell
people,
us
and it
story.
was like it was supposed to be like an depressant.
That's the word.
And yeah. So there was a sugar pill with them thinking or not knowing. So there was like the two normal groups. And then there was also like a group that knew they weren't receiving the drug at all. Oh, this is actually something different.
It's like same idea.
Same
It's like the
idea. I think it was right
placebo.
after. Yeah. and like 25% had natural recovery, 50% was the placebo, and then like 25% was the actual drug, and it's like literally split right down the middle. It's like zero effect.
I think like the people who thought they were getting a drug got better
Yes.
more, even though it wasn't really a drug, because
Yeah.
it just kind
It
of
was like
got in their
literally like
mind
a
that they were
wand.
getting better.
Yeah.
And then they had the thing with the actual wand. So they took a stick and they wrapped it in metal and
Yeah.
they kind of said, this was like a long, long time, like 1800s, I think, or
Yeah.
1900s. And they took it to the hospitals, these chronically ill people that had like issues in their stomach or knee pain they couldn't
Yeah.
get rid of. And they kind of told the patients like, "Hey, this isn't
Yes.
not a magic wand," but they said like this has I forget like there was like
Yes. They made up
metal
some
inside of
bullshit.
it, and
Yeah.
it, what all I have to do is wave it over. They would like wave it over their knee,
And then like get up
and
and
that person
dance.
who didn't walk for 10
Yes.
years would get up and dance
Yeah.
and be totally
Yeah.
fine. And it kind of just shows that like I think I heard this somewhere that like the placebo effect is like the most effective method of making people better.
Makes
Like it has
sense.
like holds
Yeah.
up in trials more than like any drug, like for
Yeah.
anything.
I think that's actually what he was trying to say in this is that there needs to be like three groups instead of two groups. So if you're giving someone
Yeah,
an
yeah, yeah.
antidepressant, like it shouldn't be you take a pill, I take a pill, but only one of us is getting the real one and we don't know. It should be like I take a pill, you take a pill, and Bill doesn't get anything and he knows he's not getting anything.
So I need a third member of the book club.
We
We
do.
can't do a full
Yeah.
trial.
What else we
But it's
got?
true. I
Disconnection
had
from
a
other people.
you should I had one um question for debate.
Yeah.
So I think he kind of got into this like early in the book before he got into all the causes, but because a lot of stuff can be like relative, like when you talk about like, oh, your life sucks and like depressing. But then
Yeah.
he was kind of like, all right, you look at rural areas
Yeah.
and these people are poor, but they have a million times less depression than a lot of like rich people.
Yeah.
And that's because they have like strong sense of communities and stuff like that. So I was like, is it better to look at things in a relative manner to others? Like I shouldn't be depressed because like some kid lost their arms and legs in a car crash when they were 4 years old? Or is it more like, hey, like the worst thing that ever happened to me is still the worst thing that ever happened to me, and like I should still like confront that and not just like compare myself to someone who might have it worse. Do you know, does that make sense?
Yeah. I'm trying to think about how I would answer that.
Because
I
some
think
people
it's
will tell me, like some people will tell me, be like,
I would
it's good.
almost say neither. And that was kind of like the one woman in the book that like was always looking on social media and comparing herself to everyone else and like in positive
Yeah,
ways and negative ways. She would just be like look, I have so much more than this person and it'd make her feel happy. And then she'd be like, look, I don't have as much as this person and make me feel sad. And it's like you shouldn't be comparing yourself, I feel like, at all.
you're right. But
So
it's weird though, because say I'm like tired one day and I'm like having a rough day, well,
yeah,
and then I see a thing where it's like on the news and it's like some 4-year-old lost their arms and legs in a car
yeah.
accident, and then I'm like, okay,
My day's
I'm
pretty
fine,
good.
like
Yeah.
I'm good. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like it's not that bad. Or should I still be like that's a bad analogy. Like if I was someone who was like my parents were dicks
Yeah.
growing up and like now I'm messed up,
Yeah.
I'm depressed because of it.
Yeah.
And then I saw that story. Like, should I still be depressed because of my parents and like work through that? Or should I just kind of be like, yo, that people have it way worse than me. Like I
Yeah.
shouldn't care about what my parents did.
I
Like or like should I just like, completely put myself in a vacuum and be like, this is the worst thing to happen to me, so I should deal.
yeah, I
Like I think
think
it's
I think vacuum. I think it's like the worst thing that's happened to you is the worst thing that happened to you, and it's like up to you to get past it.
yeah,
However, and if it's a really bad thing that happened to you, you're probably gonna have to work a lot harder and be a lot better to get
for
past it.
sure. It's a lot easier. Because like
Yeah. Like there'd be some people that it's like if they had a really traumatic upbringing and had all these horrible things happen to them, and then all of a sudden it's like they get fired from their first job. Like that might be enough for them to just completely lose control, be a drug addict, and ruin the rest of their life. Whereas someone who didn't have such a traumatic past, they could lose their job and they'd be like, it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna get another job and
mm,
get back on their feet, and they'll be totally fine. So I
yeah,
think it's like every person is in their own unique
I
experience.
guess also like different things work for different people.
Yeah.
Because like in a given day, thinking about like s- someone had like some flesh-eating bacteria that
Yeah.
ate out their eyeballs and they can't see anymore.
Yeah.
I can do the dishes. Like
Yeah.
that does help me sometimes to like manage through certain things where like I'm tired, I don't want to do this. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, I can do this for 5 minutes. I can like go sit and watch TV. And, like I
Yeah.
should stop. I should shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Type of thing. Like I do think like that does help me
No, I
a little bit,
agree.
but like maybe that wouldn't help everyone. Like
No,
if
but
you
I
told that
think, yeah, I think you're right. I think that
to like,
that's enough for you
mhm,
because your upbringing wasn't as bad and because you don't have naturally
right,
higher levels of anxiety or depression
I
or
think
whatever
it
it is.
works less the
More worse you
closer
are.
you get. Like if
Yes.
you have something like that person who lost their child, and you
Yes.
said, "Yo, this person lost two children,"
Yes.
she wouldn't be like,
Yeah.
okay, now I'm
Yeah.
good."
Yeah.
Right?
Fuck you.
Like
Yeah.
there's a scale of like,
Totally.
how good you are and things like that, which really,
Or even just like some people, it's like, some of the positive things were like spend more time in nature or like spend more time with your community and do some of those stuff. It's like you might only have to spend one day in nature and feel better. Some people may have to
you have
freaking
to
set
like
up a
go do a
10.
whole
Yeah.
treat. How are things on the inside?
They're going well.
Good.
How do I turn off the NFL? How do I just watch one game? I feel like I'm having like a
Oh,
seizure.
you're watching all
Oh,
of them?
you're on NFL Network.
I think so.
Oh yeah, turn the Giants on.
But do a channel. How do I do?
On five.
I
It's
should go into
probably
nature.
five, but let me just double
Yeah.
check for you. Because if you hit five and you don't get it,
Oh my god, it's like
you're
every
gonna be
piece like
chilling.
changes to
Oh,
another game.
it's on
Yeah.
CBS. Go to 502,
502. Okay.
and the Giants are on. They're winning actually.
She also looked like she was on
She's
her
been
phone.
outside for like the whole day.
She's so chill.
Yeah, she's
Also,
living
this
it.
is probably my favorite part about the podcast is that we can seamlessly just transition to talking to someone else off screen, think nothing of it. It's
Well,
like,
we
oh,
know
sick.
no one's watching.
Except there might be two people watching.
I told them about
Yeah.
Connor and Nate.
They were obsessed.
It
I
has
mean,
it.
that's
I said
huge.
they were really pumped about
They
it,
were
which
really
made me
pumped about it,
pumped.
but they may never watch it.
According to the
I mean,
How
they're not
Spotify
pumped.
stats,
how drunk were they though? Because that will
not
have to
drunk
factor
yet,
that.
Not
just
drunk yet.
cocktail hour,
Okay, that's big.
and I
Like
only
if
had
they
one
were
drink.
hammered out there, like that's a bit of a problem.
I only
They were
had one
never
drink,
know.
but
Yeah,
if you just walked into my conversation, you would have thought I had 10 drinks because I was
yeah.
so excited.
Oh, I would be too.
Um,
And there was a mentalist simultaneously.
At the what?
Uh-huh.
there was a cocktail hour mentalist walking around, and he was like doing like the doctor, or not
Paul
doctor,
was
like the
like
Ovis
maybe
stuff.
like we had a daughter this year, and that was maybe the peak moment.
Was
Book
he?
club,
Yeah.
mentalist.
Wow, you're
So
having a good week.
it was a
Yeah.
good week.
Breath, daughter.
So he took AIDS, wife. He did like a card trick and a
Yeah,
few other like money tricks, really cool. I was like, this is
yeah,
awesome. He took A's wife and was like, think of a name of childhood friend
yeah,
that you haven't thought of in a long time, blah
Or
blah
any
blah,
name.
or just like any name.
yeah.
She's like, okay, I got it. He goes through this whole thing of trying like think of the letters and
But like, ask like getting hints or no?
no
Just like think
hints.
about it.
Just
Just
think
like
about it.
she was like he
He
would be like, picture the first letter. And then he'd be like,
picture the
okay, I
first
got it.
letter, like how like
That's
if you hold
crazy.
up your how many letters it is,
He didn't even
some
like he would just like think of how many
some
letters
stuff
and then
like
he's
that,
like,
and then
Yeah.
okay, it's five.
he kind of did like a sidebar with like think of a celebrity and something like that, and then like, that was all something, and then kind of after all this at the end, he's like, I think I know the name you're thinking of. And then he said, does it have a T in it? And she's like, no. And then he's like, okay, I know it. It's like, is it Quinn? And like she had wrote it down on a piece of paper
And it was
before,
fun.
and like she held it up and it was Quinn. She was like freaking the
What the
fuck out.
hell?
And I was just like,
I'd
she
be
was like
freaking
all
out too.
red,
I'd like leave.
she was
Abe
red.
wasn't
Like
even
eight is like,
comfortable.
who's Quinn? Like who? Like how
Yeah,
does this
didn't
guy
even
know
No,
you
know.
that's
know
the
Quinn?
daughter's name. That's why he was like, that's not even a childhood friend of hers, that's our daughter's name.
Oh, it's her daughter's
Yes.
name? Oh, I
That's why
didn't.
he was so that's why he was like
I thought Abe thought it was like her like ex boyfriend.
no, that's why he was like, that's a childhood friend. I think he was like, we named our daughter after one of your childhood friends. And I
Oh,
didn't
I
know that.
didn't catch
Remember he
that.
said it like that?
I
He
heard
was
him
like,
say that. I thought,
And did they? She might have.
no, she was like,
Okay.
no, I just picked any name. And he was like, oh, okay. And then he was like, you
oh,
know
it's
that
on.
guy.
So then
I don't
how
know
did
who
he
mental
get
is.
it?
I don't know.
He was,
I
and
should
he's
have
going
like
around to like all
I
the.
forgot.
Yeah, we have a Quinn as well. We have a little Quinn inside.
He
Um,
pitched my daughter, I remember.
yes, he went and he was going on different tables and he kind of doing similar stuff. I just looked over my shoulder at one point and he's like pulling a quarter underneath some old lady's like Apple Watch. I'm
Yeah.
like, absolutely crazy.
That is, I
I forgot
mean,
about him. He was a young. like probably younger than us kind of guy too. So he's really
Really?
gotten good at it.
So he's got some
Um,
room to grow here.
yeah, by then like, he was
Yeah.
doing the O's stuff.
Wow.
O's has a book that I think recently came out, which might it's on our list, so it might be worth reading at some point.
Yeah.
Because like I don't obviously he's not going to say like oh how I do everything, but
Some of the
God
things
damn it,
just make no sense.
none. So number one, disconnection from work.
Yeah.
Number two, disconnection from others. I think this is the biggest one.
Yeah.
I think
We don't have a society anymore. And then the society that you have that you actually like build when you're younger gets totally dismantled when everyone goes to college and
yeah,
builds
that's a
buys
good
their own
point.
house.
Nobody
Like,
talks about that. Like you kind
yeah,
of build up this
you
community as you
do.
grow up, and then it's just like
Yes. Yeah.
completely torn
Yeah.
apart by people just like moving to
Yeah.
random places. Like that
Yeah.
didn't happen. That's like a new
No.
thing
Yeah.
in like the million years of people existing.
Yeah. Because a
That's
lot
like
of
last
people
like
used to always
40
like
years.
go right back to their hometown and all that stuff. Like
Yeah.
nobody can even afford to do that anymore. Like
Yeah.
if you were just like, hey, like, why don't we all go live in the same town? I'd just be like, there's not three houses even for sale in Ridgewood.
Yeah.
And if there were, I couldn't afford any of them.
That's why like you really we talk about it a lot. Like we need to like we should all be finding a street and just all living on the same street as
Yeah.
people that you know. Because then you're just, I talk about this a lot too, where like I'm walking home from the train and I'm just like looking at houses. It's just like everyone's watching like TV separately in their own
Yes.
house. And it's like
Yeah.
really like, it's almost like a
Yeah.
Black Mirror episode. It's
Yeah.
like really weird. Like it's everyone's watching the same
Yeah.
thing. Like if it's a Monday night, like Monday Night Football's on in like 10 different houses
Yeah.
and like no one's interacting about it,
Yeah.
but like everyone's kind of doing it.
And think about like
It's bizarre.
how many things you actually used to do together with your sense of community. Like when we did like live together, it was literally like you did dishes together, cooked
Yeah,
together,
yeah.
like we did everything
We
together.
would it we did it right.
Yeah.
What it would be like every fifth dish, you take a sip.
Yeah.
You-
Everything had a
You're
drinking
drinking,
component.
you're drinking,
Yeah.
your music's playing, you're
Yeah.
having fun. So then you're never doing anything that's like that bad
No,
because you're like kind of just
I
chilling
know.
with your
Now think
friends.
about like the hardest task that you have now, and it's like you're doing it alone all
Yeah.
the time. You're cleaning alone, you're doing dishes alone.
Right. If it's like, oh, go clean the toilet upstairs. Now I'm just like
Yeah.
upstairs scrubbing a toilet by myself.
Yeah.
But if somebody's like, hey, take your best friend
Yeah.
and go clean the bathroom upstairs,
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right,
Even if they're not even cleaning. Like even like half the time it would just be like one of us would be doing dishes, the other would just be like in
chilling.
support,
Like someone
chilling,
to support
drinking,
me
just
while I do
talking.
it.
Yeah, that's all you need.
If I'm scrubbing a toilet and there's music playing and I have a
Yes.
beer and I'm just chatting with
Yeah.
someone, that's a completely different day.
Yeah.
But it's hard to do that because there's so many things for if you have a normal family for two people to do. If you have
Yeah.
a mom and dad situation,
Yes.
there's too many things. You can't do everything together because now
No.
it's inefficient. If
Yeah.
you had 12 people on a compound,
Yes.
now you can start breaking off into groups and
Yeah.
kind of like you're never alone, but you're
Yeah.
still tackling all the different things.
Yeah.
That's so he kind of dropped some cool stats. He said rats raised in isolation develop 84 times the number of breast cancer tumors versus rats who
I
have
saw that. It's
children.
like for everything,
So
right?
like
Yeah. The isolation literally like increases levels of everything.
they're like, oh, we need to like get to the root causes of all these cancers and chronic diseases that people are having, and it seems like the answers might be really obvious.
Yeah.
Like everyone just hates each other.
Yeah.
Everyone's dicks to each other. Everyone's just isolates themselves into like their own cocoon on their couch
Yeah.
and watches TV and stares at their phone.
Everything's like
No, yeah, no
so
wonder you're
yeah,
depressed.
and everything's so aggressive too. It's like someone has one take that is wrong or mistaken or like they're just not even saying that seriously and it's literally just like attack, attack, attack,
And then
attack.
people use social media to fill the holes that they're finding in the real world and of
Yeah.
their social life. So like, okay, I don't have any real life connections, so now I need like online connections, and it's not the same thing. Fucking
There's gonna be the same thing with the rain where we're just gonna be like battling a bee, battling a bee, but like assuming they can see the bee, but it's like they for sure can.
well, no, they can't because we see that there are zero views. We know what you tell us not to bound me. But I think the disconnection from others is number one. Number three is like the biggest one. Three, disconnection from values. This is like kind of in the same light. Intrinsic versus extrinsic goals.
Yeah.
So things like, extrinsic goals are getting that promotion at work, getting a new car, buying that new handbag,
Yeah.
getting followers, these things are what society values: earning money, having a high net worth,
Yeah.
and what people think is going to bring happiness, or what society's kind of told us will bring happiness.
Yeah.
In reality, it doesn't. Versus something like an intrinsic value, which could be like, I want to be a good father, I want to be a good friend, I want to
Read
help
a lot of books this month.
community, I want to
Yeah.
help my book club
Yeah.
out, and things like that. And people, and then you kind of, if you get people in a room and you kind of ask them these types of questions, this is a liberated mind
Yeah.
had this in there, and that's why it's like liberated mind is a 5 star,
Yeah.
close to a
Yeah.
5 star book.
I agree.
Where they kind of have that test where you rate like 1 to 10, like
Yeah.
what are
How
the
happy this made you.
right, like what are the things that you value the most? And people, you can pick whatever it is, and people only pick like family,
Yeah.
friends, community, 10, 10, 10.
Yeah.
And then it's like, what do you spend the most time
Time
on?
with it.
Work,
Yeah.
all this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, now you're the things you value and the things you spend your most time on don't match,
Yeah.
don't line up. So like that's why now your life this feels weird.
No matter how successful you are, how much money you get, because it's like there was that other study in that so talked about like whether people actually became happier when they got the thing they thought they
The
wanted.
materialism,
Yeah, like they were just like, ah, if I could just have this car, then I can be happy. Or if I just get this
you know,
promotion, then I'll be happy. And it's just
untethered
like,
soul.
yeah, it's like you absolutely will not
You have it for
because
like 1 second,
yeah,
almost literally 1 second,
yeah.
maybe one full
Because
minute.
it goes to what you said too, where it's just like you should already be happy. Like, you know how many people don't even have a car or can't afford to have a car
That's where
and are
it's,
riding
yeah,
the
it's
bus?
like
And it's like you already have a car. So you thinking that you're gonna get this newer car to then look better than the older cars
right.
is like gonna bring
Like
you
I'm
zero joy.
appreciating the things that happen. No, definitely not. Like,
No.
and no one's really, there's no like reminders of that. Like, I don't think you have to take it too far and be like this weird like gratitude person that's
Yeah.
like almost, like making it worse for everyone where they're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's annoying.
Yeah.
But like some people are the way on the other end where it's like they never think twice about anything. And if you just stop like once per day to be like, wait, I got it pretty good. I
Yeah.
got like four walls around me. I
Yes.
got the car. I can pretty much
Yeah.
do what I want. Like things are okay.
Yeah.
It kind of just lets you be like,
Take a
okay.
deep
It
breath and
takes your
yeah.
stress level down like 5 notches, and you can be like, okay, I can do the few things I have to do today to like get
Yeah.
by and like just be present. To now, I can be like, okay, I can be with my family. I can
Yeah.
actually enjoy the things I'm doing.
I think it never goes away though too. Is like what people don't realize. It's like you think if you get that promotion and you go from making like 60K to 150K, right? Now all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm gonna be good. But all you do is buy a bigger house in a nicer neighborhood, and then you're surrounded by people that still probably for the most part have more money than you. So then all of a sudden
Yeah,
it's like you're chasing that next promotion and saying, okay, if I can just get, 250K. Then you get 250K, you again move to a bigger house, drive a nicer
it
car,
never
spend more money
ends.
on dinners. Like instead of eating at your local Brooklyn's Pizza and having a $28 bill, drinking a glass of
That's like we
wine.
got like three
Yeah. Yeah.
appetizers.
You're now going to like these fancy dinners in the city and getting a
It's
sitter
never
and spending
enough.
this. And it's just like, how much exponentially better are those dinners in the city? It's like, I don't know.
It's
I don't think, especially everything's comparative.
not
So it's like
because
if you're eating,
it's who you're with.
yes,
Because I've been to really good places that were awesome because I was with like some of my good friends and we got like really drunk.
yeah,
But I've also been to really shitty places with the same crew and
yeah,
had the same exact
same
good
amount,
time
yes,
because we
yeah,
got really good. Like,
yes. And even like the taste of food, it's like if you're eating ground turkey and rice for every meal for, 3 weeks, like, and all of a sudden you have like a little bit of honey and apples or like apples and peanut butter, it tastes like crack. Like if you
yeah,
like when I was at like my best eating habit and I was literally just
we
eating
have to do a
like
food episode.
yeah, I was literally just eating like ground turkey with like no seasoning, just salt and pepper and like white rice and I was
Like you
having that
don't
like
have to do
every day.
that.
I know you don't. But like I was, but then all of a sudden it was like when you had a steak or when you had
All you get,
like apples and peanut butter. It literally tasted like
all you need to do is eat steak and fruit, and you'll
yeah,
be so lean.
yeah.
And like
But
if your steak's like
yeah,
expensive to have every meal, even though it's a lot cheaper than eating out,
yeah. But if
you
you
just have
haven't had
ground beef instead.
yeah, if you haven't
Ground beef
had
cheap.
ice cream or you haven't had pizza or you haven't had those things for like a month, all of a sudden it's like the same joy and the same levels of like
Mhm.
this is delicious you get from like healthy food. You get from like an apple. Like an apple tastes
Yeah,
like ice cream when you're eating like
yeah,
that bland.
yeah. It's all relative.
Yeah.
And he did in the materialism. He talked about the cool. It was a very cool study on like kids where they showed 5 year olds commercials. They would show them two commercials for a toy, and then they give them a choice. Like, do you want to choose to play with a mean boy with the toy, or a nice boy without the toy?
I don't even remember this. I'm
And
excited.
yeah, so like you show them these commercials for
Yeah.
toys, and you say there's a mean boy and a nice boy. Do you want to play
Yeah.
with the mean boy? He has that toy. You can play
Yeah.
with him, or you can play with the nice boy, but he doesn't have the toy.
Yeah.
And they would always choose to play with the mean boy with the toy.
Hmm.
And then for the kids that they didn't show the commercials to, they would always choose the nice
The
boy because
nice,
they weren't
yeah.
like primed to
Power
like
of
think that
advertising.
they need that
Yeah.
toy
Yeah.
because the way that the commercials are makes you feel like you need it in a
Yeah.
certain way, and that's like we're bombarded. I think
Oh, the advertising's crazy.
he talked about a little bit where in like
Brazil.
Brazil in the
Yeah.
cities they had to do campaigns to like clean it up because the
Yeah.
advertisements were
Was
so crazy.
everywhere. Yeah.
It makes me think about like New York City when I walk around. Every single inch is an advertisement,
Yeah.
and like I don't care, and am the opposite of buying stuff. But like it's just weird. Like it makes it
Yeah.
feel like horrible there.
No,
Whereas like it,
I get like I don't like it at all now. Even when it's like an ad for a drug that I don't even need. It'll be like someone with like eczema or something, and I'll always see these eczema ads. It makes me just like sick, the concept
just
of them just like just pushing it. It's like every
it,
ad is
it
like a
when
freaking
I'm
drug
watching
ad.
commercials, like yeah, Amy will be like, I could feel how
Yeah.
upset you're getting
I
right
get
now
like
because
yeah,
dude, it's like some commercial for a drug. You know the trials are crap,
yeah.
and it's like just trying to pull on heartstrings of like a sick
I
older
know.
person, and
Yeah,
you're trying to take care of your parent, and
yeah.
like they do all this stuff, and it's like this is like actually
I know.
evil
Yeah,
that they're doing
yeah.
this, and like it's just
It's like the eczema one that I always see on Netflix is literally like this guy on a date, and he's like, "Oh, you don't have to worry because you're like your eczema's good," and it's just like, first off, like,
get your
yeah,
eczema away from me, bro. Like, I don't even know if that's
yeah.
contagious or not.
First off,
But
you
it's
can
first
be
of all, it's a
dating,
gut
yeah,
problem, and I can fix it when we go on the food episode. I'll fix your
yes,
eczema by your
yeah,
diet.
and
But
it's like you're either willing to go on a date or not, whether you have eczema or not.
yeah,
It's
you're
not
putting that
gonna,
in your
yes,
Tinder
like,
profile.
yeah,
But yeah. So that shit makes me mad. So then I had another debate question.
yeah,
It's like, okay, we know advertisements are a problem. These companies they have one goal, it's people's jobs is to like make money for the company. So
yeah.
like
Sell
maybe
things,
individually they're not all evil, but like
and every
collectively it's bad.
yes, and everyone owns something that they really actually do enjoy that they like,
For
whether it's good
sure.
for them or not.
We
Like I have a
we're better
PS5
now
and I like
than we
it.
were 100 years ago. It's like no running water.
Yes,
So like
yeah,
clearly it's not all just bad. But
yes,
then so I said, how do we fix this ourselves? Like I've started to hate on material stuff. It's like I want to get rid of everything. I hate having stuff.
yeah,
And I know the advertisers, but like most of the time, I just sound like a grumpy old man.
yeah.
So like, how do we do it? Because like, I'll be
I think there has to be balance. Like
like
I
me and her
think you,
sisters, I'll be like, why do you guys need to buy this?
yeah,
why are you buying this? Like, why, like, what does it bring you joy? Like, I'm really trying to understand. I just like an asshole
yeah.
because they're like, now they feel bad about buying it. I'm like, I just don't get
I know.
it.
Well, the stuff is so crazy for everyone that it's like people have these houses with all this room
I
and
don't use any.
they end up like filling up the house so much that they have to buy like a storage unit to put all their stuff.
So
And it's
we
just
were,
like, what is going
what?
on?
How many things are you using in a given day? Use like
Yes.
four
Yeah.
things. Like outside of eating. I actually almost don't use anything.
Yeah.
Like
I actually just bought
I
like
like
a
sit on the couch and watch the TV sometimes.
yeah.
I don't use anything else.
I bought like a bottle opener because I realized I didn't have one, and I bought like some Dos Equis, and I was trying to get them open, couldn't. So I had to like do the old high school thing of like I put it on my knife, my wooden knife rack, like the edge of the bottle, and was
Right.
like hitting it down, making a racket.
Oh, like
Like I'm just banging on the top of
you were
the
trying to get an actual beer open.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, without a bottle opener. Oh, okay. So then I did order one on Amazon, but it's just like
That might be a
it
necessity.
is, but you can see how you just like accumulate stuff and stuff and stuff.
It's
Like
like,
the
oh,
longer
this
you live somewhere, it's like
it's a
something
quick
comes up and you're like, oh, I kind of need that, you
it's a
know?
quick thing. And it goes into like the values too of like the quick fixes, or like something that grinds my gears is ordering food.
Yeah.
I get I get mad. First of all, so we ordered sandwiches on Friday. Sandwich game was really good.
Yeah.
Props to
I
that
was gonna
sandwich.
say.
Chicken, I got a chicken vodka parm.
Nice. That sounds
I was
good.
like, if we're getting a sandwich, I might as well something that tastes good, and
Totally.
I'll like do a little double gym sesh.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so it was enjoyable. But we ordered two sandwiches or something. It's like $60.
And then they're probably asking for a tip.
Right, and yeah, and you tip
Yeah.
and stuff like that. By the time you're done, and I just get like no joy out of the whole thing.
Yeah.
So like as a one-off, we don't order a lot. It's a great convenience to have if you
Yeah.
don't want to cook. 100%. But people do that 3 meals a day.
I also,
I
yeah,
think that's a problem. Like I think
I think it's a problem with everything. The ease of convenience
to
of good
click
things.
a button and have
Yes.
someone come and drop a bag on your porch is
Yes.
almost
Of anything you want that you don't have to
sickening
cook.
the
Yeah.
gluttony behind it.
But it's with everything.
It's with
It's
everything.
like things have just gotten so much better. I think that's like part of the problem is like if you want water, you just like turn your faucet or you just like open
Yes.
your fridge.
Obviously,
Like people used to have to
some
walk like a mile.
conveniences are good. Like that's
Yes,
a good convenience.
it is.
I think the seamless has gone too far. Where like I think we think we have to go back to taking pride in what we are eating.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, I worked on this. It's good for us. Something that like we're proud of eating.
Yeah.
And then I think if everyone did that, that everyone would be healthier.
Yeah. I
But
think
instead, like,
everything in this book, like from diet to spending more time in nature to spending more time with community to
yeah,
spending more
mhm,
time meditating. Like, I think every single one of the nine steps, like, you don't need to completely change your life to just be like, let me, once a week, we're gonna go walk in the woods. Once a week, I'm gonna plan something with a group of my
yeah,
friends. Once a week, I'm
small
gonna,
stuff.
yeah,
I think and now that I kind of live out here in the burbs, that's gonna
yeah,
be my mission as this child gets older.
nature.
I'm gonna be the community guy.
Love it.
I'm gonna be
Bringing people tomatoes.
just bringing people things they don't want,
Yeah,
having their kids over our house,
yeah,
but just like actually just trying to be friendly with everyone and
yeah.
like try to regenerate some of that like
It's so
fun
tough
because it
though,
can be like
because
so fun.
it
Like
can, but that's how it starts. And all of a sudden, like, then it's like, we're recording for the pod. And then all of a sudden, your neighbor comes in and goes, hey, what are you doing? And you're just like, get out.
I think by then hopefully we'll be like, yeah, man, we have like
We
five
have a studio.
views. We got 5 or 6
Yeah.
views now. we're, we're we're kind of in the middle or
Yeah.
something. Um,
But it's like you want that sense of community. It's kind of like the big problem with the commune, where you always see like the commune stuff,
mm,
and it'll just be like everything's great at first until like the bathroom doesn't have a door, and like you're trying to take a
it's
shit, and someone's like coming in and showering.
right. And someone's like your wife is showering, and someone's like, I'm gonna shower with her,
Yeah,
and it's like,
yeah. And it's just like, well, we need some
well,
rules
hold on.
here. We need
But
some privacy.
yeah, it can get out of control. But like, I just also vision like
I think you
a
need to pick your community. I think the problem is like you
no one's
didn't pick
picking
this
anybody.
community. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like you look
you
at your neighbors on either side, and it's just like, would we have picked either one of those to be in our community?
well, it's it's a lot of like so then you're at like different stages of life. Like if
Yes.
everyone's kind of at the same stage of
Yes.
life, then
You're
it's like
building up together.
right. Then you
Yeah.
kind of go to one house and it's like, hey, like I'm gonna barbecue on Saturday. Get
Yes.
the kids in the backyard, let them
Yeah.
like wrestle and do
Yeah.
whatever kids do, and like I'm gonna throw like 12 burgers and
Yeah.
hot dogs on the grill,
Yeah.
and we'll have a few beers while the
Totally.
kids play.
Yeah.
That seems awesome to
But
me.
you also,
And
I
then
think,
you're kind of
still,
like all like
yeah.
then you kind of know everyone. And
Yeah.
then you can be like, hey, like you're away for a thing, like I'll look after your crap, and then you do it for me
Yeah.
too. And then you
But
kind
think
of
about how much like weeding out you needed to do to get your community the way you wanted in high school. Like, like when you're
yeah,
younger, like from age 5 to 18, like how
it's a
much
really good
weeding out of
point.
friends and like, oh, this isn't gonna work, or I don't really like this, or like, oh, we don't have the same likes. Like you do so much weeding out to then end up being like, oh, this is it. This is what I like. And then all of a sudden it's like everyone's moving to a different city.
That's a really good point I've never heard before. That's why you're the top
I
podcaster on this
mean,
podcast because it's so true.
it's
Because
crazy.
you
Yeah.
literally spend your whole life in your formative years kind of
Yes.
forming these bonds with people,
Yes.
and they just
Your
slowly get
sense
like
of
ripped
community.
apart from you.
Yeah. And then
And
all
it's
of a
like
sudden it's
almost
like
devastating.
it's crazy.
Like if those like your family
Yeah.
members, and it was like,
Yes.
oh, this year we're like
Yeah.
taking your sister, this
Yeah.
year we're gonna take your brother, this year we're
Yeah.
taking your dad,
You're
like,
gonna go live
and you're
in
just like, huh,
yeah,
huh,
and you're gonna live in Maryland.
right? You're
You're
going.
going to Pennsylvania.
It's.
And it's like you can come home twice a
Do
year.
you think that that is by design? Like, there's like conspiracies of like they're trying to
Yeah.
like take apart the nuclear family, get the
Yeah.
wife back to work so that way they can control your kids in school.
Yeah.
Like that's like a common thing. Like what you're saying is definitely happening and
Yeah.
true. Like, do you think that's by design,
Like
or just do you think it's just happening?
I'll say this. Would if that wasn't the case, would we have to be reaching out to Abe and Connor to get on the podcast, or would they already be sitting here on the podcast? Like if we never left Allendale,
Or didn't think
the
it's
chances of them being on this podcast right now are infinitely higher. Do you know what I
What's
mean?
another Connor?
Yeah.
Huh?
Like
Because Connor's in Long Island,
same interests.
A's in the city.
Yes.
If they were both in Allendale and Hoboken still,
Yes.
they'd be here right now
Yes.
without a question.
Undoubtedly.
That's a real.
Now all of a sudden you're a book club of 2 with 0 watchers. You're a book club of 4 with 0.
If we just double the people
Yeah.
here,
They'll watch. Yeah.
I have so many more no's, but I have nothing better than that.
Yeah.
Well, I know we need to keep going,
You got to give
but
a
that is such a accurate thing that
yeah.
no one talks about. Is fucking wild.
And it's a whole
You're blowing my
problem.
mind right now.
Yeah. It's a whole problem with communes is you're getting a bunch of like outcasts and strangers to each other being like, hey, we can be a society. And it's
Well, it's like
like,
every street's like its own commune, and it
yes,
doesn't work. Like, you have to like
no,
pick your commune.
yes, you
And
need to like pick people that contribute in a meaningful way and people that have similar interests as you.
that's what like Matt McCusker would kind of when he tells stories about his childhood. Like he grew up with like 5 or 6 siblings, and he
Yeah.
lived across the street from his like aunts and uncles, and they had like 5 or 6 kids. And
Yeah.
now there's like 12
So there's a
cousins.
big
and
community,
thi-
yeah.
So like you almost have that family
Yeah,
built in
totally.
there. Like now that doesn't.
No.
They might. I don't know how they made that work or
Yeah.
whatever, but that's rare. Like
Yeah.
that doesn't happen now, which is absurd. So number 4, it was childhood traumas, which we talked about, and obese people. I kind of
Yeah.
forget the obese story. I remember like thinking like, oh, it wasn't as easy as making them go on a diet and stuff. It was more like
Dealing
just
with the trauma first.
like
So it's like a lot of them were like
a lot of them
abused when they were younger.
what was
So they like
that
got
was interesting
fat,
to me.
so they like no longer
So
would
like
get abused.
so picture a young girl gets raped
Yeah.
and she now has like obviously a horrible picture of
Yeah.
men and she hates when men are looking at her. So she's
Yeah.
like, if I'm fat,
Yes.
no one's looking at
And I
me,
won't
no one's
get
giving me
raped.
attention,
Yeah.
I can kind of hide back in the crowd.
Yeah.
And that was shocking to me because
Yeah.
I had never heard that before.
See, I had because like
Really?
in Patterson, it's a thing a little bit with like girls that'll like literally smell like piss. Because it's like if you smell like literal piss, like if you just smell like shit, then you're like less likely to be like,
And they do it on purpose.
yeah.
Cool.
And
That
also
was
probably from the
just-
trauma too. But it's like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
like one of the red flags that someone in their life might be. Yeah.
Holy. So that's like, I'm so happy I learned that
Yeah.
because I'm hard on fat people.
Yeah.
Because there's some fat people that are fat because they're not doing the right things.
Yeah.
And it's not that I'm hard on them and hard on them. I think society's telling them the wrong things to do to be not fat. Whereas,
Especially
like, eat
now.
salads and like
Yeah.
things that aren't as nutritious as some of the things that we'll cover one day in our food podcast.
Yeah.
But that was like a very interesting new thing where I was like, I've never thought of that before,
Yeah.
which is like, holy shit, that sucks. And like
Yeah.
the fact that someone's almost purposely obese to not
Yeah.
be knows what I meant is like
I think it's definitely like a
Insane.
compulsion too. That it's not like
It's a
you just like
safety,
ice
yeah.
cream or you like this more than everyone else. Like everyone likes ice cream. Everyone
Did I ever
likes
tell you about the
this.
peanut butter Red Bull? at
Oh
Standage?
yeah.
My
Insane,
God, this
yeah.
peanut butter ice cream
Yeah.
is so goddamn good. Every day I'm like, because Amy will go whenever I say,
Yeah,
like, if she loves it too.
yeah,
She won't try the peanut butter,
yeah,
but like, this is
yeah.
crack.
Oh yeah.
This is insane.
I've had
So
ice cream
yeah.
like that. Like I remember Lauren one time when I was younger, like brought this like ice cream. It was like the big tub, like the gallon tub, and it was like she got it from like some fancier place, and it was like half fat type of thing, but it was
Mm,
supposed to be healthier.
okay.
But it was like fluffier, but it literally tasted so freaking good. So because it was like lighter, I'd say like twice as much. So I
Yep.
literally like finished the gallon in like 2 sittings.
Growing up, I would have a huge bowl of ice cream and rainbow sprinkles every single night.
Yeah,
Every single night. It was
yeah,
like a routine. So ice cream's good.
yeah,
We know that. I'm very happy though that I learned that kind of fact
yeah.
because then it kind of gives a new perspective where it's
For a lot of
like
people,
there's
it's more of
multiple
like a sign of a bigger thing.
things
Yeah,
that are it's not just all fat people aren't doing the right things. It's
yeah,
that everyone's gone through different things and there's you don't know.
yeah,
You don't know unless you know. Um Number five was status and respect, which I think is pretty self-explanatory, but in this chapter was the baboon story.
yeah,
I don't know if you remember that, which
yeah.
I absolutely
That
love the
there was like the
baboon things.
hierarchy.
The
It really it felt like a Malcolm Gladwell
That
book.
was I
Yeah,
felt the same
yeah,
thing. So basically, what it was baboons. The way their societies are structured is like very hierarchical, where they're literally ranked like one through the end.
12. Yeah,
And if you're baboon number one, you get to mess with baboon number two, and number three, and you whack their head when you walk by.
and you get to sleep with all the
You sleep with
women,
their
and
girl,
yeah,
and if they're eating a fruit, you just grab it right out of their hand. They can't do anything.
and they'll
If you're
like,
number two, you
yeah,
can do it to three down. Number
yeah.
three, you can do it to four down, and so it goes
So then
until
if
you get the
you're,
last few,
yeah,
and you're really just only constantly getting messed with.
oh yeah,
And these baboons in real life, like if you're observing them, these people want to go observe them, are like they look like depressed people. They're like
yeah,
isolated. They're hunched over. They have
yeah,
bad posture.
yeah,
They're they're on their own. Like
yeah.
they're trying to avoid everybody. They
But
disappear.
then also they're like so much more depressed when you put them in like captivity. So like if they're
Yeah,
in a zoo, they start like pulling out their
yeah.
hair and doing all these like wildly depressed things where like the one, two, three guys won't do that even though they're in captivity. They like won't pull out their hair. But if you're at the like 10, 11, 12 spot, they're so depressed they'll like be pulling out their hair and doing all this horrible shit. In nature, they're obviously still depressed because their life sucks, but like they won't do it as bad. And that kind of made me feel like it's the same thing with our society. Like if society is that bad, and then you're
Mhm.
going through stuff, it just makes it like,
100%.
yeah,
Yep. Number six was disconnection from the natural world. We talked about
yeah,
that a little
nature,
bit.
yeah,
Um, so he kind of mentioned in here, which I did like, because it's like when you're depressed, you feel like everything's about you. You become very selfish. So you're like you kind of get trapped in your own thoughts and everything like that. So like kind of going out to nature, like he climbed that mountain with that
yeah,
one girl, and then you get to the top and you kind of like you get that feeling where it's like, oh, like this world is not all about me. Like I'm just kind of like a very small part of like this bigger thing, and it kind of like immediately dissolves your ego a little bit,
yeah,
where you can kind of be like, oh, okay, like this shit rules here. I'm just a little ant in, a grain of sand,
yeah.
and I don't matter as much as I thought I mattered, which is a good thing because then when
It's
you're
untethered
depressed,
soul, yeah,
that's untethered soul stuff. So depressed people, you get the selfish thing where you're like, everything's about me, like this, because you become like self-deprecating
yeah,
in a way where it's like a
yeah.
cycle where you keep kind of going down on yourself.
And you like start to lose track of like nobody cares about anything other than themselves. Like when you're
Right? You
like
think,
out in public, you think everyone's like looking at you and
yeah,
talking about
exactly.
you. It's like
That's
the
what I was
only
trying to
reason
say.
someone would even be talking about you is because like they're trying to be funny to the person that they're with because they're like only care
God
about
damn it.
themselves.
God damn it.
Is
That's
that
the
is that better?
oh, oh.
What?
Remember how like our video normally is only a quarter of the screen?
Oh, is that why?
All I had to do was like drag the screen to be bigger. I just really randomly saw the button. It was like very obvious to me.
It's crazy. There's 8 buttons. It looks like right now.
Right? You can
Yeah.
like resize it if you wanted
Yeah.
to. But I think it's because we were talking about being on the landscape and kind of like seeing out over everything.
Yeah.
I kind of
It's
just
paying dividends, all right.
I just got rid of my own
Yeah.
ego
Through the
because it was
screen.
only on me the camera before, and now
And now we're
now we're
everywhere.
good. All right, so number seven.
I love how you wrote down every single one
I
because
knew I liked them so much.
yeah,
I liked each one. I was like, I want to remember these because they're like I thought they're all really, really good.
I made it to six, and then kind of lost track of
The
tracking them.
they got less like the last
Yeah,
two were kind of almost like fillers. Number seven was sense of future and hope. Um, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. A
yeah,
lot of people like if you feel like you have no hope or no way of being better, like
yeah.
this is just my life and it
No
sucks.
way to upgrade your position at
Versus
work, or
like,
yeah,
hey, this is my life now, but like there's a clear path towards it being better.
yeah,
Clearly, like you're gonna be less depressed about that,
yeah,
I think. And then eight and nine were like the genes and brain changes.
yeah,
Um, he told one story of Mark who almost died from heroin and then decided to become a neuroscientist. And I wrote like how like I don't do heroin and I'm not a neuroscientist. So I don't know
yeah.
how he did both.
That turnaround's crazy.
They were starting to talk about like brain structure and stuff like that, which I thought was cool. He said like neuroplasticity is the tendency for the
Yeah,
brain to continue to restructure itself based on experience.
yeah,
I thought was cool. Like basically, if you're like learning new things and doing things, your brain's going to be changing in a certain
yeah,
way. Or if you're kind of not, then it's going to change in the
yeah,
other way. And like you, not like you're in control, but like you almost need to train your brain like you train your
yeah.
body in a certain
Totally. Like
way.
he uses the example of a muscle that, like, if you want to, make your brain more elastic and more capable, it's like you need to train it the same way you would train like a muscle to get bigger in the gym.
Exactly.
I thought the other part that was crazy with that is he said like if you blindfold the child when they're younger, their like other senses and their other parts of their brain will be like that much more heightened.
Oh, I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, and then like
Not really.
the part that like is aligned with their eyesight, like won't even necessarily be their like eyesight will be worse, but like the parts of your brain that you use for that will be like considerably weaker, and you won't be able to like
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Crazy.
yeah,
So again, to like go back to the brain chemistry thing, which was like the general consensus of why people are depressed, like your brain is always changing. So to say you have a
yeah,
messed up brain doesn't make any sense
no,
because it's constantly evolving and changing based on what you're doing.
yeah.
So like you can't just look at it like a brain. It's not like a snapshot where you can say like, oh, this brain's messed up.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, it's like, what are we doing in society and community to have the brain be in a worse situation with, and like
Right.
serotonin is like, that's like one of the most talked about things, like the anxious generation, where it's like, how much serotonin could you possibly have when you're like on TikTok and getting these like serotonin hits
Yeah.
every time you're not doing something else? So it's
Yeah.
like you go from like watching TV where you're getting probably like a little bit of serotonin here
Yeah.
from like the enjoyment and the excitement of like whatever you're watching, and then all of a sudden it's like commercial right to your phone. Now you're on
I
TikTok scrolling.
yeah.
It's like serotonin, serotonin. Back to the game, and then it's like you eat ice cream after dinner, like serotonin. Then it's
Dopamine.
like
Boom, boom.
yeah, so it's like
It's true, and
it's like of course everyone's
I'm in a
like
constant battle.
depleted,
Constant battle with my phone. I have been so good. I've been under 2 hours of screen time per day, which is still like an absurd amount,
Yeah.
for a long time. And this week, like with the Yankees back on in the
Mhm.
playoffs, I've been like group chatting some of my friends about the
Okay.
games, which has been,
I
I
think
think
that's
that's
good.
totally fine.
Sense of
Like it's
community.
been a fun
Yeah.
time. But that is like bringing me back to my phone, even if
Yeah.
there's no text.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Checking it.
I'm checking it.
And
Then
then
I'm
you're
like, oh,
going to something
then I'm
else.
like, oh, let me just see the weather tomorrow.
Yeah.
Then I miss an inning.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, this is not what
Insane.
it's
Yeah.
absolutely, and it's, so I'm like, because normally I would put my phone across the room, but I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I do want to participate because this
Yes.
is fun.
Yeah.
And like, now we're living so far, we can't all be in the same room together
It's
to watch.
it's insane how addicting it is. It's insane. Like that was one of the biggest changes that I ever made was like I would have YouTube and I actually like YouTube. Like I'll watch like Shane Gillis stands up and
Mm.
Sunday Conversation and like things that I actually enjoy on it. But then like I would have the shorts come up, like the YouTube shorts, and they're essentially like TikToks, and I like wouldn't be able to control it.
Hi.
There's a baby on the pod.
Oh,
It's our first baby
she
ever.
just woke up for the first time since you got here.
Oh, that's awesome.
No,
So she
she
slept good.
slept the whole time.
Good. And how's everything else going in there?
Good. The Giants were winning, and then they started not losing, but
Not doing
their
well.
team's doing better now.
Okay, well, we're gonna say they're losing. The other team might be scoring a few more points.
I like the Villanova.
She's so
You
cute.
got a rep.
We got a wrap.
Caroline, you'll be proud. I think we're in the middle of something special here.
Greatness.
I think we're in the middle of something really
I just
special.
had to pop out and say hi, but well,
It's so nice out here.
We should
We were
done
gonna
in
be
a
out
couple
there, but there were
minutes,
so many bees, so we had to come in here just almost for
oh my
protection.
gosh.
Yeah.
I wonder if you guys saw too, the Pakistanis are popping.
Are they?
On the
I don't think
hill?
it's a bad thing on the hill,
I think
but
no, the hill I'm purposely leaving.
I know. I just was wondering if
I
that
think we
would
let
like
the
trigger
hill
you
recover with
guys.
Pakistan and we can
I
always
don't mind
revisit it.
it. Yeah.
Right?
Because we just don't know
Yeah.
what we're gonna do with it yet. Now, right now, it's just dirt.
Yeah.
So
Like
we'll let it kind of
whatever.
recover.
Are you guys gonna fence it or no?
Well, we're gonna fence the whole yard. I think we're gonna go here.
On this side of the garage?
Yeah.
We have to for protection purposes.
Nice. You don't want that sense of community.
We were just talking about how important it is to have a sense of community, and then we're like, we need this to be like 20-foot fence here.
20-foot privacy fence all around the house.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
No, I think
So wait,
wait a 6.
you're gonna go this side,
it's hard because the car. It's
and
you
then
can't
what are you
open
gonna do
your
with
car.
Rosie?
Your car.
You're gonna
door
do a gate?
here.
Because
So then you can. We park normally at the end.
Yeah.
So then you have a gate and you can like pull in sometimes.
You could also park on the street though overnight, can't you?
You're allowed to actually.
I
Oh,
don't like.
you're
We
sure?
wouldn't want to have that be like the only option.
But
Yeah.
we can
You know?
put 2 cars like right there. So worst case scenario.
Like
we
you,
just-
yeah, you can fit
Yeah.
2 behind the gate.
So-
And we haven't driven this one once yet.
No,
I
Yeah.
literally just had to move it and clean it because it was like dirty.
because it was dirty.
Um,
And then on that side as well, and then across.
That's
So-
what's tough about the cars
Because
too.
we
It's
could
like
do this side, but they said we should probably go in.
I
Like,
feel like this would
Yeah.
close off
the
our yard and make it
They
feel
said
so
we probably have to
small.
go in,
Yeah.
And here, like
oh,
you would have, it, and then
really?
if she was
can't open the
playing,
doors.
and then if she's playing when she's like 2, she can be out here on like a little like, those little like
Yeah,
stupid
like
bus
chalk
chalk,
on the
you like-
driveway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of still have
Tricycles.
eyes on like grilling steaks. And
I think that's definitely the right
burgers
call.
And then also to like move
Problem
the
here is, like,
lawnmower out.
you couldn't open a car door.
With the fence right there.
Right. Or you'd have to be
I
like,
think we can go right on the edge of our property right now.
yeah.
That's gonna be a tough conversation. Just be like, hey.
No, you don't converse. You just say, "Oh, you guys have going on vacation next week? Oh, great wall shot."
Yeah.
Like, 20.
I mean that's what happens when you don't pick your neighbors.
The more awkward.
True, but
The more
we-
awkward one's actually outside because they want to go. Last year they asked if we should go split these.
they want to split
And
like
we
the
were kind
money
of
in the
like-
fence.
We were kind of like, yeah, sure. And now we're like,
Because originally we were gonna do it, and we were like, "Oh, that will help us save half the cost." But
Yeah.
then, in the long term, it doesn't make sense because like if one of us
Yeah.
were to move,
Yeah.
it's
That's a
only on one
mess,
property,
yeah.
so we don't get the value from this. So like, I'll just be like, "Hey, like
we'll just pay
we're
for
happy to do it and pay for it,
Yeah.
and we'll make sure you guys are cool with the
The
style."
design, yeah.
Or if you guys want to do it, you guys are free to do it too.
Yeah.
Like we don't care.
Yeah.
It's like
But
whatever.
we're gonna fence the rest
That's
over
like
on this
all
side.
totally fine.
What a little baby.
Her first appearance on
Yeah.
the book club.
First of many.
That's our first guest.
She'll probably get like 1,000. She'll probably have 1,000 appearances on the pod by the time she's like.
True. By the time we get our first view,
Yeah.
she'll be 3. Our first one.
sorry. Jeez, granted, that was a year ago, that conversation.
I never really liked those, so
Right?
They're
Like,
so
when you
nice,
started-
but there's something
weird.
there we haven't found out yet.
Like when
Oh,
he started wearing like an apron,
only
to go
him-
grill,
I think-
like by himself. Like it's like you're not even having people over.
I
Like
think
you're wearing an apron.
I'd like to defend that for a second because you got me an apron, which I like to wear sometimes.
Wait, no, I
But
didn't.
I won't wear it if it's just me.
Someone got me an apron,
And
and
I
I just
wear it?
made you wear it.
Oh, you made me.
I didn't make you. No, you were doing flour, and it was all over you.
But I think
Actually, I think it says. what
it
does
might just
say?
be him. I think she's genuine.
Yeah.
Nice. He's really nice, but I think there's something we need, or we're going to find out.
Yeah.
We need
I
to figure
agree.
it out.
There's
And
something
not
going
like it's
on there.
necessarily a bad
No.
thing, but he like when we talk to her, she'll be like, yeah, like we're having to mess with the contractor and the this
It's gonna
and
be a few
that.
more months.
And it
When we
feels
talk
like
to
it's him.
He's
Well,
like
no, well, when we
tomorrow.
talk to him, it's like
I'll be like, it's
they're
done
he's like they're
tomorrow.
coming tomorrow. It's gonna be done in a week,
And he's lying.
and it's been like a year of
Yeah.
that. So it's like
Yeah.
I'm not even asking. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
whatever. You just told me that I didn't
Yeah.
even ask
Yeah.
a question,
Like we're fine.
and it's like, why don't you just tell me the real
Yeah.
truth? Like if that's not the real truth, I don't
No,
care.
we're not holding
Yeah.
you
I don't
to
care about
it.
your construction.
Yeah. No, there's
Yeah.
definitely
Exactly.
something to like when you meet someone, it's like you get a sense of like how genuine they are, like to themselves. And
But like I do think he's
Yeah.
genuinely a nice person.
Yeah.
Like I think like he sees
That's
her
the
and it's like
scenario.
so good. He's like, how are
Rosie
you guys?
actually
Like,
likes.
but I just there's
I think it's
something.
all a facade. I think he's like I think there's something up with him. I think he's a terrible person.
You think
Like,
like serial
she's on his
killer or
way.
something?
I think he's just like he's uber flamboyant.
True.
in
Is
like
this
a
from the
way.
apron?
Yeah,
Well,
lots
thank
of
you, network.
yeah.
My coworker
I think
got
my
me an
apron, the
apron.
apron you gave me is like it says like I'm tortellini in love with you or something. I'm like wearing it.
Yeah, and that could just be me just
No,
judging this
you
guy
were
for
making
one apron.
pasta and you were making a mess on yourself. And I was like, I have an
It was the first time I
apron.
made like homemade pasta. I
And
think so.
he had flour everywhere. And I was like, I have a pasta making apron. Do you want to try it? And he was
Yeah.
like, sure. And now it turned into I bought you.
Well, it's not you bought me. It's just like I'm trying to caveat that I didn't buy it. So he's like
Yeah.
making it like if he might hate me.
No, it's not the one thing.
So
It's like been
basically,
a few
both get
conversations.
It,
It's
no,
also like
I know what you're
yeah,
saying.
No.
like if I'm outside
We
ripping
are
up Pacasandras,
Manly stuff.
manly stuff.
Manly
Like
stuff.
I expect
Yeah,
a
exactly.
manly conversation.
Bro,
Yeah,
do
right.
Do you
do
think
you
it's
work
like,
out this morning?
I think it's the curse of having two daughters.
Nah,
Two
yeah, I
daughters
don't-
that like will say a lot of things, and then you kind of know a lot. Some of them aren't true,
Yeah,
but you don't like hold it against
like
them.
me.
Oh, yeah. But
yeah.
it's just part of being married.
I think that there's an element of like being like a people pleaser, and he
Yeah,
seems like that, but
yes.
it makes his
But it's a
personality feel
level. It's a
so fake,
level.
where it's just like everything is like
Yeah.
people pleasing, and then it's just like goes out
What's
to
the
grill,
real
and it's
deal?
just like, oh hey guys, like see outside.
That was her butt.
That was her butt.
She's foreign.
She's shatterpants.
Did she?
All right, well,
All right, good
that
luck.
concludes our time on the
Yeah.
podcast.
We'll get back to our next pod.
She's so cute.
Oh my god, I have to go inside.
That might
That's
be on
bad.
your arms. All right.
But yeah,
Good. Good sidebar.
lost focus. We're coming up on 2 hours, 11 minutes here.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So a few other things. This book is worth
I think it's a
this.
must read. Yeah.
It's worth this.
Yeah.
So a few other things I have. We're on 8 and 9 right now, which is so almost done. Um, he talked about genes a little bit, so I just want to make something really clear.
Yeah.
They have not identified the gene that causes depression. So when someone says it's genetic,
Yeah.
I think it's the same for alcoholism. I think it's the same for like a lot of things that people think is genetic.
It's like learned behavior.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe,
Yeah.
but it's 100% not just something you're born.
Yeah.
It might be your dad's an alcoholic, and you grew
You
up with
see that,
you grew up with
that's what-
horrible
yeah.
abuse,
Yes.
and you become an alcoholic.
Yes.
But your dad might be an alcoholic, and that might be why you never drink.
There also
Right?
though
Like
there
both,
is
that's like almost
yes.
50-50.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And there's also that gene though, but there is a gene that like makes you good at drinking or not drinking. Like I feel like I can never be an alcoholic because I get so hungover
So
that it would just make me like so
I wrote it down.
yeah.
Gene 5-HTT
Love it.
can increase your sensitivity to traumatic events. So
You look this up outside the book?
no, this is
Oh,
no.
we talked about
So like because obviously like certain people have a traumatic event and alcoholic father,
it. Yeah.
and you become alcoholic, or some people have the same alcoholic father and never drink.
Yeah.
Gene 5-HTT increases your sensitivity to that type of traumatic event. So like that may make you more likely to become an alcoholic if your father's an alcoholic because you have whatever this gene was, I forget.
Yeah.
But it's not like I have the alcoholic gene. I have the depression gene, and a lot of people fall back on that as like it runs in the family. And then I think people use that as an excuse to like be depressed and be like,
Yeah, I think for everything. Yeah.
right, and like now it's like my shield, and now I
Yeah.
can kind of use that as my shield. But according to this, if you don't have a traumatic event,
Yeah.
that gene does nothing.
I also think we
Like
know
you're chill.
yeah, we know nothing about that stuff. Like you were saying about like serotonin before and all this stuff, like we know nothing when it comes to that type of stuff. So it's like if the studies, and I'm sure why we think it's gene related is like the studies probably show a significantly higher level of like people that had anxiety or depression in their parents to themselves, like to the next generation and the next generation after
Mhm.
that. But it's like we were saying with the placebo effect, it's like just telling someone that they've received medication like has like a 60% efficacy. Like something
It's the
absurd.
only thing that holds up in
Yeah.
every single trial.
So it's like if you tell yourself that already puts you at 60%. And then you add in like the learned behavior aspect of it, where it's like, you wouldn't realize it as a kid if your parent was constantly anxious and like depressed and nervous. You probably wouldn't realize it, but kids pick up on everything. So it's like they're
Mhm.
subconsciously at the very least like picking up on it,
Neville
and
Goddard.
then yeah,
You're subconsciously
yeah,
absorbing that.
yes,
'Cause when you're 10,
yeah. You
you
don't
don't
need
know if
it,
your dad's
and you don't
depressed,
need
and
it.
you don't know if your dad hates work. He comes
Yes,
home, you're excited to see him.
yes.
Blah blah blah.
But then all
You
of a sudden,
don't.
when you start feeling those same feelings, then all of a sudden those same things come up in your subconscious
But
about like
you
this is how you handle it.
right, like you might see your dad sit in the car for like 45 minutes when he gets home. And you're like,
Yeah,
why is dad like not coming inside? And it's just like,
yeah,
why is dad drinking a beer in the car right now?
yeah.
And it's like,
Because he's the man.
right, that's
Yeah.
but it's like, well, he hates his job. He's about to come in. He's about to get yelled
Yeah,
at. Like all this stuff. Two other cool things. First of all, I read the wrong quote earlier. Quote I was supposed to read, and
yeah.
they're kind of the same. We were talking about like adjusting to like a horrible society. Was and I wrote his name down. It is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a sick society. Jiddu Krishnamurti. That's the quote I think from the book.
I don't even know what that means. Read it again.
It's no measure of health to be well adjusted to a sick society.
Oh,
It's
I do
basically like
like that.
society sucks. So
Yeah.
like we're all
So if you're well adjusted to a sick society, it's like you're sick yourself.
right, like we're all the whole society is like make money, buy this,
Yes.
buy that. Like if you're doing well in
Yeah.
that, it doesn't mean that you're like doing
It
good.
really is crazy that
Which
it's
is
like you would
right.
congratulate someone for something like buying a new car. But it's like, you know how many congratulations I got for reading 40 books?
Almost none.
Zero.
Besides me and you each
Yeah.
congratulating each other
Yeah.
like every day.
Yeah.
Like almost none. Are they back out? I thought I heard the door.
Uh, yeah, it's open. Now it's closed.
Okay. As long as it, yeah, it's all good. Um, that's just I think that
No, that
um
does like sum it up. And
quote
yeah,
is quotes up the book well, where it's like, "Hey, you're not depressed because of your brain chemistry. You're depressed because your life is depressing." And
yeah.
then he kind of
And a lot of I think why your life
so
is depressing is like society right now is a little bit
right. And
depressing.
this before we get into my closing arguments, it's like, hey, society is set up in a way for life to be depressing, and
Yes.
we're all kind of buying into it,
Yes.
which I think is accurate.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna leave that for now. He did mention Amish live in communities of 150. That's a
Malcolm
mathematical
Gladwell,
tipping
yeah.
point number.
But he also did mention they like have these wild other beliefs where like they're allowed to like beat their wives as long as they're their wives. So like there was this woman that would go to like the town hall and be like, my husband's abusing me, like please help me, and they just feel like you married him, you deal with it.
I got something to say about
Yeah,
it. I think obviously being aware is bad,
yeah,
but then I think people look at like the Amish,
yeah.
and we've done the vaccine. We know, like, all right,
Oh yeah,
no
they're
asthma,
doing things right.
they're doing things right. But then people will say, yeah, but they beat their wives.
Yes,
And then we
you're
throw
right.
out
It's like
we throw
yeah,
out everything. And it's like,
yes.
wait a minute.
It's like one person's having a bad time,
Right.
so we throw out
It's like,
149
hey,
positive.
maybe they're doing 60% bad and
Yes.
40% really good. Like, let's take
Yeah.
something from the
Yes.
40%
Yes.
and make it like, hey, they bake their own bread and they
Yes.
don't fucking die all the time.
Yeah.
Let's bake our own bread. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
No, totally.
but
Yeah, I think you
let's go on the
can't.
record.
Yeah.
Beating wives is bad.
Yes.
What the hell, frick show?
Like not having anxiety and depression because like you feel like purpose in your community, good. And like the Amish do that
Yeah.
better than us.
Okay, but the last thing, so my last positive thing about the book, there's other positive things. It was a story about the guy, I forget what country. He was poor, depressed, something happened. He was a farmer. He got injured. He couldn't farm anymore. They were like, no, what you can do is milk cows. We're gonna band together and buy you a cow. You can milk this cow, and then that could be your new livelihood.
Oh
And then he
yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
depressed anymore because he
yeah.
had like all new
It was like
work.
somewhere in Asia.
Community came
Yeah,
together
yeah,
and
yeah.
kind of helped him out. I was like,
Yeah.
I can sit here, I can do this.
And he did feel better.
Love that
Yeah,
story. Absolutely love that
I
story.
agree.
The story I hated was the Turkish and German protesters who were in the East Berlin, West Berlin Wall.
I think you gotta hold on to this. I gotta pee so badly. Is it crazy for me to go pee and come back?
Go
Because I
pee.
have a couple things to. Just hold the.
Go pee. I'm gonna go line here.
hold
I
the-
don't know if we have the capability to pause and resume. So I'm gonna hold the line here. I'm gonna give a quick recap on things that are going on in the world that I think are important for people to know about. So I watched a full 3 hour trial of RFK Jr. I watched two full 3 hour trials, so 6 hours worth of trials recently kind of some of this vaccine debate that's going on in Congress. And the first one I watched was RFK Jr. Against all like the main congressmen that you know. It was like the Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warrens of the world. Um, First things first, we need to be just ashamed and embarrassed as a society that we have these 90-year-old people saying things that they know nothing about to someone and trying to do these gotchas. And that's what we call like a real investigation and try and hearing. And this is the way that American people are supposed to get information. And then it gets clipped and then it goes on Twitter and half the people in the world say it was really good. The other half say it was really bad. And that's really the end of it. And everyone kind of forgets about it. It was an abomination. RFK Jr. actually held his own and did pretty damn good as far as trials and hearings go. Um, Bernie and Elizabeth Warren were particularly just completely a joke. And then the second one, which I think is super worth watching, was I'm giving a recap. So I watched two 3 hour hearings, like vaccine related hearings.
Yeah.
One was with RFK and it was like with Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. And I was just first saying how it's an abomination that that's like what we do to like find out information was have like 90-year-olds like
Just
yell
like
at
yell at
someone
each
about
other.
something they have
Yeah.
no idea that
Nah.
like people are handing them papers.
Yeah.
And then there was a second one and it was also about vaccines and it was Aaron Siri, who's like or I think he's RFK's lawyer.
Yeah.
And he is like a prosecutor that prosecutes against the vaccine manufacturers.
Yeah.
And some it was some gay guy who was like a philosopher, and I'll get back to him in a second. And it was a real it was a real doctor who was like the COVID vaccine was like really good, and he's
Yeah.
like giving like the talking points that like
Yeah.
I might disagree with, and they're going through all these debates, and it's just so stupid the way they
Yeah.
structure these things. And he's
Yeah.
like the Lord Aaron Siri is he's read all the books we read. And he
Yeah.
actually just wrote one, which might be interesting, which it might be repeat for us.
Yeah.
He's given out all of that. He's dismantling everything.
Yeah.
It was like getting me jacked up.
Yeah.
And there's this gay guy in the middle. And at first I might hate this guy.
Yeah.
He was unbelievable.
Yeah.
He was some doctor. He had all these things about like autism
Yeah.
and stuff that he was saying about how it's not like if it was genetic, it would be like a
Yeah.
slow thing, but it's like a huge boom.
Yeah.
And then like the doctor guy was like, he'd be like, there's 500 studies that say that the vaccine schedule is safe. And then like Aaron Siri was like, the 500 studies that you're citing, he would like literally go through and like
Yeah.
annihilate them.
Yeah.
And then it was like over, and I was like, no one cares.
Nah.
It was like, but I was like, I'm like, I'm the only one who's watching this.
Yeah.
Like, no one's watching. And then they'll clip like RFK in the first
Yeah.
one.
They'll clip that down to
It'll
like
be
three. Yeah.
3 hours I watched.
Yeah.
10 seconds of him. They'll like put a question that was like 5 minutes earlier, and then
Yeah.
him like stalling for a second.
Yeah.
But like they're not even the same question.
Nah.
It's like, God, gets me fired up.
Yeah.
That's how I feel the time. So Turkish and German protesters,
Yeah.
Berlin Wall. My first problem with these people, and I like the story. So the story was a bunch of poor people. They're getting evicted. They're in East Berlin, West Berlin. The wall falls November 9th, 1989. Same day I was born.
Yeah.
Some would say I came in the world and brought peace. Others would say it was a coincidence.
Yeah.
But basically, I think the wall fell, and then they were like on the highway. So now this is all of a sudden like a prime real estate. So
Yeah.
plans start rising. A bunch of poor people can't afford it anymore. They start getting like kicked out, and there were a bunch of immigrants who were super segregated from each other. Like they didn't like interact at all. So then one lady puts up a little sign on her door and is like, I'm gonna kill myself in a week. Peace, y'all. Peace and love.
I don't like that.
See you later.
Yeah.
People are like walking by. Some people are like, cool, whatever. Some people are like, yeah, this lady might kill herself.
Yeah.
She wrote, I'm gonna kill myself.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do something about it.
Seems
Some,
reasonable.
yeah, some
Yeah.
people thought otherwise. So they were like, hey, we're gonna protest. If it does nothing, it does nothing, but like, let's start protesting. They blocked a highway. That's strike one for me.
I totally
That
agree.
is, if
Yeah.
you're blocking
Yeah.
highways or any kind of road,
Well, it's
and
like,
I'm driving,
yeah. All protests, I have a huge problem with this as well. So I'm glad you brought it up. All protests should directly affect the people you're protesting or the group
call.
that you're protesting against.
good.
You know, it's like
call.
if you tell me like when we were looking for new contracts in Patterson and they're like, go out, stand outside of, the district offices with a bunch of signs and, we'll do a bunch of chants and stuff and then we'll go home. It's like that affects no one but me. Because now I have to work an extra 2 hours
Mm,
standing out in the cold, chanting to do something. Like that's not the protest that I want.
no.
I want a protest that like if you want a new contract, we're not coming to work.
Yep.
Like we'll go stand outside for the 8 hours or something like that. Like that affects them. That puts pressure on them. When you go stand on a highway for
The
peace in the
highways.
Middle East, the people that you're affecting are the only people that have no say in what
Someone
happens in
very
the Middle
similar to you
East.
just got fired because he was late to work,
Yeah,
or someone couldn't get to the hospital or
yeah.
something, or I'm just mad because I'm in traffic.
Well, it's just like so unnecessary. It's like you're protesting the wrong thing. It's like you're protesting something that has nothing
You're
to
just
do with.
creating a scene so that people see your cause,
Yes.
and that's the wrong way.
Yeah.
Unless you're doing like the 1960s, like civil rights, like they would do like sit-ins. Like I think they would just
Yeah.
go to a restaurant and like sit there.
Yeah.
Like, maybe that's a little bit better because you're not blocking traffic.
You shouldn't be affecting
But if I'm going
anyone
to
that
that
isn't.
restaurant, then I'm like, why is people sitting around?
Yeah.
like,
We don't
like,
want
I'm
that.
trying to have a burger, and it's like
But
a
it's
guy
like,
sitting.
who are we protesting? Like, if we're protesting the
Right.
government,
Like you're right here, they're protesting the property owners.
yes,
So like,
go block them.
block their car.
Yeah,
Don't
block their
my car.
driveway. Yeah.
I'm not fucking charging
Nah.
you rent.
Yeah.
I'm mad about my rent
Yeah.
too. Like, and so that made me upset. It's a good story. Like people were helping each other out, and then they kind of became less depressed and anxious
Because you had a sense of purpose.
in the process because they had a sense of purpose and
Yeah.
community behind it. So like the story behind it is nice. Blocking the highway, very much not nice. Second half of the book, not second half, but like maybe the last two chapters, he kind of gets into okay, here's like the nine causes of depression and how we fix them.
Yeah.
A lot of it was like lining up your intrinsic and extrinsic values. Hey, I want to spend time on the things that are valuable to you, like family, friends, community. Makes sense.
Yeah.
No problem there. You talk about meditation and psychedelics.
Oh, yeah.
I
I
think
thought that was like a great way to end the book.
great. I think
John Hopkins study.
we knew all about
Yeah.
it.
So it wasn't.
I think some of the names he mentioned were in
Yeah.
they're all the same
Roman
names.
Griffiths.
And
Yeah.
Bill Richards, all the
Yeah.
same names from the last book. I think if we don't get a chicken coop back here,
Yeah.
we might go Zen Garden
LSD
and
Zen
just
Garden.
have like that be our meditation
Love it.
zone. We
Yeah.
hear the birds chirping.
Yeah. There's a, yeah.
I've been trying to get back into like a little meditation routine.
Yeah. I gotta
It's
dive
not
back in.
easy to keep up
No.
with. I've been doing like
The breathing helps though. Like even
because
early in
it's
the
combo.
morning.
It's
Yes.
the same thing.
Yeah.
So you focus on your breath. That's meditation.
Yeah.
So I'll try to do like a quick, like 20 seconds in the shower. Like I'll turn the hot water off, so like only cold.
Yeah.
And I'll just
Focus on
slow
your
down my
breathing.
breathing
Yeah.
and just notice that the water's cold. Like
Yeah.
as long as I can. I can make it like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And it's so cold.
Yeah.
But I'll just because you like have that thing where you lose your breath. But if you actually just breathe slowly out of your nose,
Yeah.
you can pretty much just be chill.
It's Wim Hof.
That's a Wim
Yeah.
Hof. I'm pretty much Wim Hofing every
Yeah.
day. At least 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So it's not a big deal, but it's like pretty good.
Yeah.
So then I got upset a little bit because I got. Let me just make sure I collect my thoughts here.
Take your time.
So I thought it was just like the last like 4 pages. I got upset because here's all this research, all this detail, causes of depression. I think his first fixes are really good. Like fix your community, essentially like fix your life.
Yeah.
Type of stuff, which I think is right. qualm number one, which I have at the end, which is a little bit less. He didn't. I don't think he mentioned exercise and diet at all,
Yeah.
which I think is a huge impact into
I
a
actually
lot
agree
of
with
the
that.
stuff.
Yeah.
Which
It's like fairly common knowledge, so I'm
I
surprised he
think
didn't talk
maybe it's a
about it.
little bit more now. I don't know when he wrote the book, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because
He also mentioned he was a heavy set guy.
I think he's
You
a
know, so I
fat.
feel like
I looked up a picture. I
yeah.
think he's a fatty.
So he didn't want to hear it.
I don't hear it. I can't give him the fat.
Yeah.
No, but I do think that's really important because I think it sets up all the rest of the stuff that you're trying to do.
Yeah.
If you have all that stuff in line, if you're eating right, and eating right is not salads, it's not grilled chicken and broccoli. It's just
Making your own food.
making your food.
That is
That's it.
Yeah.
If you want to be simple,
Yeah.
I can go about it all day.
Yeah.
But just make your food at home
Yeah.
and you're fine for the most part.
Not in plastic.
Right.
Yeah.
Just real foods that you get on the outside of the
Yeah.
grocery store. So I thought it was a little bit disappointing. They did all this research, and then one of his conclusions was like just to give everyone money.
Oh
He
yeah.
kind of talked at the end about the universal basic
Yeah.
income.
Which, like you
Um,
said, Obama would be a thing in 20
he
years.
slid in a few
Yeah.
like Trump jabs,
Yeah, he did.
and which are like I don't care because
No.
your book is so good that
Yeah.
like whatever like it just
Everyone's
didn't
entitled.
fit,
Yeah.
which was weird. And then like some like very pro Obama things, which
Yeah.
maybe that's when you read the book.
I agree. I don't think that that's the solution. I think if you do give everyone more money, it's not going to change. People
get
aren't
it.
going to go into nature. Like
Right.
if you give me an extra 20K a year, I'm going to spend that 20K on more shit. Like I'm gonna
It's
have the
not the
Apple
answer.
VR, instead of my PlayStation 5.
Right. I get it. I totally get why people think
Some
that's what we have to
people,
do.
yes. Some
Because
people that are money insecure and all that stuff.
because like I don't want people to be money insecure
But
at
everyone
all.
is money insecure. Like people
Yeah.
in Patterson are money
You're
insecure.
fine.
Yeah, my sister who has a
I'm
job
money
and her husband.
insecure.
Yes, everyone. It's like you have two kids
I
or a
got
kid.
a fire in a podcast out here
Yes,
with 0 views, and I'm
yes.
still
Yeah. We're bringing in
with no
$0. We're
advertisers.
actually losing money. We're losing about
We're
$20 a
spending
week
all the
on
time sitting
wine.
around and drinking
Yeah,
instead of like making
yeah.
money.
But it's like I don't think that would solve one problem. And I think like my experience with COVID with this was like so much told me that. Like before COVID, I told myself like if I could ever just like not have a job and just be able to like watch
Right,
TV and drink and do whatever I wanted all day, like I'd be so happy.
right.
And then all of a sudden COVID hit and I was making my full salary literally without a job. Like that first full year kind of COVID, we sent home a packet and that was it. That was the job.
Yeah.
So like once I sent home that packet on the last day, like I didn't work and I was making my full salary. And all I did was like drink and order shitty food and watch TV. And I was like the most miserable I've ever been. Because it was like I had no gym, no
Yeah.
nature,
Yeah.
no society, no friends. Like we were talking on the phone a little bit, but it was like we weren't meeting because of COVID.
It, it got
It was so bad.
such a good trial run for like
Yeah.
all this stuff.
So then after that I was like this whole thing of me thinking like I don't need a job, like I don't want a job and I'll be happy without a job, like that totally changed my opinion.
Yeah.
Like if I didn't have a job and a sense of purpose and I could
You
just
just
like
need to repurpose the job
yes,
structure
so
a
it's
little bit
more
so you're
like
not like
impactful.
12 hours a day.
Yeah,
And so you're doing something impactful. Question.
which she
Can I
also
be?
yeah.
Can you hold it down for
I'll hold it down
30
because I'm about
seconds?
to go on a rant about school.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, like, kind of going off the book, he talks about like this guy that works in a bike store, and in the bike store, he just like no matter what idea he has to sell more bikes, like his owner won't hear him out. The owner doesn't care. Just like do your job, sell the bikes, go home, you make your set salary. So then, like, he goes into this other story. I'm not sure if it was the same guy or a different group that almost like they said, like, why are we working at a bike store for a minimum wage and all this stuff when we could just like let's pool all of our money and then we can all be the owners. So they all became like like part share owners in this bike store that they started, and then they like divvied up the work, and then they divvied up the profits. So if they were making more money, if they were working harder, they all made more money, and just kind of like it goes with what he was saying before about like purpose driven work, where it's just like if you just go and someone else is telling you what to do, and whether you have a good day or a bad day or a good idea or a bad idea, and it like doesn't affect your salary, it doesn't affect like really anything, then it's like it's like you're not going to be good at your job, your business isn't going to be that successful. And I feel like that's very much like what goes on in schools, which is like the superintendent, especially like big districts, the superintendent tells the 20 to 30 principals like what's important and what they need to do. Then the 20 to 30 principals then go and tell their teachers, like, this is what's important, this is what you need to do. And like the feedback from the teachers will never make its way back to the superintendent. So it's like, she's not in the school, she has no idea. But then it's like, it's like the people that have the ideas, the people that know are just kind of like being told what to do. And then it makes them like less motivated. That if they have a good idea, if they find something that's working, it's like it doesn't, it doesn't translate to anything really that positive. So it's like that concept of like, like being invested in what you do at work and being like responsible, like is I think totally gone in our society. Like everyone has
Yeah.
a boss, and that boss has a boss, and that boss has a boss. Like we're so far removed from like actually being decision makers at our jobs.
Even little things that you have autonomy on at work, and he talked about autonomy a lot in the book,
Yeah,
help a lot in
yeah,
terms of like making you feel like you're kind of your own person at work and you're responsible for things and doing things in terms of being happy.
yeah,
When you don't have at least even just a few little things,
yeah.
it really blows.
And it really isn't about the money. Like he talks about
It's
how
not.
how
That means
top
not. It
50
changes
people in the
nothing.
world own, like I think it's
They're
like
the
the 30 heirs of Walmart like own more, have more money
they're
than like
probably the
the bottom
least happy
25%.
people in the
Yes.
world. Like I think
Yeah.
like
I agree. I think that means nothing to happiness. I'm not even like bothered by that. Like so many people are bothered that
I think I used to be. I'm not anymore.
no, because
I think
it
until their
really,
soul change, like
yes,
completely flipped me on it.
totally. But I do think that there's this sense of like the way, and he talks about this in the book, the way our social and like working structure is set up, it's not set up as a hey, we're together in this. It's set up as like you're number one, you're number two, you're number three. And it's like by salary. And then it's like you're ape number one,
That's the
you're ape number two. It's the
baboons.
baboons.
They're in the
Yeah.
baboon world. I'm
Yeah.
not, dude. We're out of the baboon world.
Yeah.
We've transcended. Because I honestly, like, I'm at the point where I think I'm happy as long as I have the stuff to just kind of continue to fuel the life that I have and the people around me want to have.
Yeah.
But like, I am not like, I need to save up to get this or I need to
No.
save up to get that or do that at
But
all. I'm
how do
just like,
you
as long as everyone else is like kind of
yeah.
cool, like, I'm fine.
I think the real question is how do you bring that sense of purpose to people's jobs that like, we said like 13% like it, everyone else pretty much dislikes their job or doesn't feel like this sense of meaning. So how do you give that 70 something percent of people, 80 something percent of people a sense of purpose at their job without necessarily just being like, oh, we'll pay you more? Because I don't think paying them
I
more
don't think it's the
universal
pay.
income. I don't think
I
that's the
think
issue.
what happens, like, it's obviously every job is different. But I think like I've had managers in the past where it was all just like they kind of just told me what they wanted and then it was
Yeah,
up to me to go do it.
yeah,
And then that like really kind of sucks after a while because you're just like, okay, cool, like I'm
yeah.
just doing what this guy says. And then you have managers where it's like they kind of
It's team atmosphere.
team atmosphere is collaborative and they're also just like step back and then let you have ideas and be like, hey, I think we should do this. And then you can like agree.
Yeah, see if it works, see if it doesn't work.
Right, and like
Yeah,
give you the freedom to like pursue it a little bit,
yeah,
which I think is a lot better. Like it's a very minor change in
yeah,
like the way conversations go, but I think that has a huge impact on the way people view themselves at work versus
yeah,
like, because then all of a sudden it's like hey, it's up to you to like kind of come up with ideas and
Yeah.
do things, and then you're kind of like, hey, I gotta. It's up to me to, I
Yeah.
gotta kind of do this
Yeah,
kind of stuff. I'm
totally.
not just waiting for people to do it for me, and then I'll
Yeah.
just kind of like fill in the gaps, which I think then you get it, and it's like you think of something, and then it's like, oh, this is a great idea,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden that makes you feel good, and then you do it, and you see it, and it's like, okay, even if it's
Yeah.
like a small company or a small thing within the company in terms of like the greater good, it's still like it's in your world, it's still like a big thing.
And I think that was one of the only thing that I would say about this book that's like, and I think it's like anything, it's like I don't think there was a very clear cut, this is what we need to do to fix society. It was very much like, society right now is broken, and because it's so broken, it's making so many people anxious and
Mhm.
depressed and like all this stuff.
It's not healthy.
Yeah, but it's like it wasn't like, hey, we need to do this, this, and this, and this. And I think he was good about it too. He was like, I'm doing these things for myself and it's helping, but it doesn't necessarily mean that if you do this, this, and this, same as me, like you'll be cured. But I think that that is like an issue is like, what do you do about advertising? What do you do about, and I think like small changes would probably make a big difference because it does seem like we were fine 20 years ago when we started advertising and all this stuff. But over the last 20 years, it's just been so much worse.
I'd say yeah, like
Yeah.
I'd almost say it's
It's
just
like people
gotten
used to
worse and
feel,
worse.
yeah, people used to feel probably bad about it to some degree. Like it was like subtle things. It'd be like if you put women with big boobs in a beer ad,
Nice.
that's gonna sell more. And like they realized that and then they started doing it and then people make jokes about it and like but now it's like the advertising is like so kind of subtle
Dude,
that it's like you don't even
I
know
s-
you're
it's
being
all like it
sold
was either
something.
Apple or
Like they've gotten too good at it.
Apple or Amazon, and it's like these like old ladies, and they're like trying to like fulfill like their last like hopes and dreams or something in their life, and they're all like dying and stuff, and it's just like,
Yeah,
dude, what? So I can like buy stuff on Amazon and have it
yeah,
like come to my door in 2 hours?
yeah.
Like what?
I
This makes
know.
no sense.
Some of the ads like make me visibly upset.
I stand up off the
Yeah,
couch and I'm like, I want to
yeah,
get rid of the TV because I'm like,
yeah.
this is so absurd. Because like, she'll watch like Hulu or something, and then like, they do like a minute of
Yeah,
ads,
yeah,
and I get furious. I
yeah.
freak. And like, I don't get mad at almost anything else
No, me
except for
neither.
ads.
Yeah,
Because now it's like in my head. And I just always think that there's just a group of people in a room somewhere
yeah,
making money to think of how to trick you to buy something. That's
yes,
their job.
yeah,
And they're like, hey, if we twist, this
yeah,
kind of tug on this heartstring
yeah,
or do this, we're going to get this many more sales and
yeah,
stuff. And I debate whether or not to hate them or just kind of say hey, that's their job. They're just
yeah,
the Nazis following orders,
yes,
or
yeah,
I'm just tying things back,
yeah.
um, or not. But it's
You're right.
it
It's a
really
weird.
makes me
Yeah,
mad
no,
that
me
like
too.
I just think of these like four like fat dudes in a room just being like selling some like health thing.
Yeah.
And like they don't believe in it, they don't care. They're just like it's all just like a mental game. They're like, how can I trick people into
Yeah.
buying?
And we were outraged when like cigarette companies started like very clearly advertising to kids when they realized like
Yep.
16 to 18-year-olds were like their biggest demographic. And then we were like outraged by it. Now it's like you're still selling stuff to kids. And a lot
A
of the stuff
lot
you're
of it's
selling to
too
kids is, really terrible for them. Like when you sell like these sugary cereals to kids,
serious vapes,
yeah.
drinks,
Like, but it's like we've become like once something happens once, you become numb to it, and then when it happens again, you're like, oh, that's already happened. Like you're just not as
100%.
like upset.
Yeah. So I think that was kind of my only issue with this book was he put in all this work and research, identify the causes, which I think were awesome. He went through a bunch of fixes, which I think we haven't talked about a lot,
Yeah.
which was like, reconnect with the community, some like types of therapy and stuff which work, immersing yourself in nature. So I thought like that was all great. But then he kind of just said at the end, that was like, all these things are like really hard for some people. So like we should just change society and give everyone money. And
Yeah.
I like wanted to throw my phone, my
Yeah.
Kindle out the window because I was
Yeah.
like, dude, you made it every single page, like the
Yeah.
last page, he kind of did that, and
I agree. I was kind of tuning out at the end of the book, which is probably
I do that
why.
sometimes when I'm like, oh, I'm
Yeah,
about to be done, and I
yeah.
was like,
So
I
I
don't want
like
to
didn't
say,
value that information as much as I valued like all the information for the first
yeah,
three
I shouldn't.
quarters.
Maybe I shouldn't overvalue it.
But I think you're right to some degree. I remember him saying that and talking about universal income and Obama saying that it'll happen in 20 years.
Yeah,
But I don't even remember why he said it.
it was like, it was
I guess it
like,
was just like society's broken and this could be
right, like
something to
all
fix
this
it.
stuff is like we could do therapy and people could do breath work and
Yeah,
meditation for years. Like that's really hard. It's like we
yeah,
should really just give everyone money.
yeah.
And that I was just like, well, I just don't think it's gonna work as much
No.
as like I want people to give me money and stuff.
Yeah. I don't agree with that, but I do. Yeah. I
That got me fired up. Um, yeah, that was
it's
one
crazy
less
when a
thing.
book and that's probably on me for tuning out at the end,
No,
but it is crazy when like a book will be like so good and then all of a sudden it'll have something at the end that just like
it's just
pisses you off.
yeah,
And then vice versa. It'll
it's
be
in your
like a book
mind.
will be terrible, but if they have like a great ending that like really
Yeah.
ties it all together, I'm like, whoa, hold on. This actually was pretty good.
It kind of made me be like, does this guy, we know he's a fatty.
I was gonna say.
Like, and he was so happy to get the pills at first because he's like, oh, my brain's fucked up. Like, all I need is a pill. And he was like,
Yeah.
all he wanted to do was just live by that for so long. And he had a lot of trouble kind of breaking from that
Yeah.
thought process. Like, I don't want to say, like, oh, this is like a lazy guy that wants like the quick
We
fix.
said like,
But like, is that part of society where like we want a quick fix?
oh
Like,
yeah.
hey, meditating is hard. Hey, not taking a pill is hard. So like,
Yeah.
but like giving us money is easy. So like maybe that'll
Yeah.
help. Like that's also just a quick fix.
I
I
agree.
don't think a quick fix is the fix,
No.
right?
And I also think like going back to like 1950s culture and just being like no one can have a smartphone, no one can do this, like all this stuff is banned. I don't think that's
Right.
feasible either.
Because like that would work,
Yeah, I think
right?
so.
Because but like I hate when it's like, hey, government, what can you do to help me? Where it's like,
People would be like
that's
outraged
why,
though. If you give someone something that's like a big part of their life and then you just like
yeah,
take it away and be like, you guys can't handle this, like alcohol. Like alcohol is unequivocally bad for you. It's unequivocally bad for society. But like it's also unequivocally pretty good. Like people like to
I would
drink.
debate it. I would
Yeah.
debate it.
But like once they gave that or allowed people to do it and they tried to take it away, people are just like, no. Like, could you imagine if they tried to take away like they tried to take away the NFL season that COVID year and everyone was just like, no.
Right. It
Like
was
you can
like
shut down work, you could shut down this.
shut down church.
Yeah.
Just make sure you leave open the liquor stores. And
Yes.
NBA playoffs are coming. We're
Yes.
gonna need those. I'm
Yes.
gonna need to be in
Yes.
preparation for
And then
those.
football, like make them wear a mask, but like we're playing.
Kyrie can't play, but
Yeah.
he can go.
Yeah.
He can go sit front row. He can be at the game.
So it's just like it's funny with that type of stuff where it's just like, yeah, I mean there's certain things where like
It's just yeah.
and those are dopamine hits, but they're dopamine hits that we allow. Where dopamine hits we're good with.
That's why everyone's like RFK is doing so good and whatever all level of stuff is doing, which I agree with in the vaccine front.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to the food stuff, it's like, why are we waiting for someone to tell us that life cinnamon toast crunch is bad? We know it's not good for you.
Yeah.
Eat it sometimes because it
Yeah.
tastes
Oh, it's
delicious.
phenomenal.
Have it sometimes, but most of the time, don't have it.
Yeah.
Why do you need the government to tell you
Yes.
that, right? Like you
But
don't
also,
need them for that.
yes,
They
the
don't
middle
wait for them
ground,
to fix it.
yes, the middle ground is one, don't let them advertise to kids. Two,
Fair.
make them be really honest about what's in
Yes.
it,
Yes.
what every
Because
chemical
they
that's in it
say
does.
yes.
Yes. They've become so
So
lax.
make sure people know the risks.
Yes.
Because they
Like
say it's healthy. They say this
yes.
is a healthy start to your day, and it's
Yes.
not a healthy start to your day.
Yeah.
And it's cool if you don't want a healthy start to your day if you want that.
Yes.
But if you're tricked into thinking it's a healthy start to your day, and
Yes.
it's not a healthy start to your day,
Yes. There's a problem.
that's the problem.
And it's like with all foods now, it's like I told you I got those veggies that like the ingredients were just all the veggies, and then it might have said at the bottom like spices. And then all of a sudden
Natural
it,
flavors.
yes.
Did I
And
tell you
like
what what citric acid
no.
is? Like every single thing is like
Yes.
citric acid.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, they just like squeeze a bit of
Yeah.
lemon in it.
Yeah.
It's black mold.
Is that what it
They
is?
derive it
It's a
from black
preservative?
mold. I don't know if it's a preservative or not, or if it's a flavoring,
Yeah.
but they grow like black mold,
Yeah.
which is like if it's in your house, you like just move,
Yeah.
and then they just put it in like every single food item
That's the same with like canola oil, isn't it? What is canola oil?
Canola oil is actually from the plant. We have to do food podcast.
Yeah.
It's a plant that's called a rapeseed plant.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
you
They
can't
just
because
changed
it's
the
a bad
name.
name because it's
Yeah.
rapeseed. And canola oil is Canadian oil.
Okay.
So Canadian oil somehow got like subsidized at some point where
Yeah.
they were taking these plants and they're smashing them and like heating them up to like super high
Yeah.
temperatures. Like if you saw a video of them like processing canola oil,
Yeah.
it's like sludge going through these
Yeah.
like gears and stuff, and it comes out into like the
That's
bottle
oil.
that
Yeah.
like we know, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, this is heart healthy.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, this is not
No.
anywhere close to food. It's
No.
not a
Yeah.
food item.
Yeah.
So like
That's
this,
the stuff they need to. And like
right?
we
So
have
like
so
a
many
Nature Valley
things.
bar.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Oh
you're
yeah.
fired up on food stuff. Well, like a Nature Valley bar, it tastes kind of decent,
And they
and
advertise
it's like
it.
this is the healthiest thing you could
Yes.
eat in the
That's where I have a
world,
problem. Yeah.
and it's Nature
It's horrible.
Valley.
All those
It's
things are horrible
green,
for you.
and you
Yeah.
look at the ingredients, and it's absolutely an abomination. It's nowhere
Yes.
close to a food
Yeah.
item, and they pretend that it is.
Yeah.
That's where I get mad. Where it's
Yes.
like you can't pretend because some people don't have time. I have time
Yeah.
somehow. Everyone,
But also like
but to
yeah.
look at all this, and not
Yeah.
everyone's looking at this.
No.
People should be able to make the decision that they want that or
Yes.
not, and they can
And
make a
half
free
these
market
people
decision. But you
like with
can't lie.
yes, and
That's a
even with
lie.
like waters, it'll be like this spring. And it won't be
What?
spring water. It'll
Bring
literally
me
be
to
tap
Poland
water.
Spring. Bring me to
Yes.
Poland Spring.
Yes. Let me see this goddamn spring.
Bring me to Poland
Yeah.
and let me see your spring because I don't believe it
Yeah.
anymore.
But it's like half these things they don't even have to be what they originally started as or what
You
they're
can make
claiming
it
to
up.
be now. Yeah.
I think that's the issue on that type of
And
stuff.
also water, we should be like on the water. Like these are the fixes that I want. On Poland Spring, like we have the technology.
Mhm.
Take a readout of everything that's in Poland Spring, put it on a label, slap it on the back of my plastic
Yeah.
water jar.
This is 98% water,
Yeah.
1% arsenic,
Yeah.
1% heavy metal,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
0.25 SSRIs,
How much fluoride
0.23
is in my water?
fluoride.
How
Yeah.
much fluoride am I drinking
Yeah.
so my teeth can be
Birth
healthy? And it
control.
goes right past my
Yes.
teeth into my
Yeah.
gut.
Like give me
Tell
that.
me.
Don't just like say water. Like
No, it's,
that I have a problem with. Same thing with spices. Like
that's why I got.
tell me what the
That's
spices
that's
are.
why you're on this
And what was
podcast.
done to these spices.
That's what I had on this book.
I have
This
one
book
last
was
thing that's
okay.
also
Yeah, yeah,
gonna be pretty controversial.
nice.
So he talks a lot about how kids always like blame themselves for like abuse or like
Mm,
their parents getting divorced and
cool.
all that type of
How's this gonna
stuff.
be controversial? I'm excited.
Yeah. So I look at it as, yeah, like he said, like you could ask anyone, and like if a kid said like, "Oh, my parents got divorced because of me," you just be like,
Mm,
"Oh, of course they didn't." Like, no, they didn't.
for sure.
But
They might not.
like maybe not directly, but also like having a kid is incredibly stressful. Like you're
Yeah.
telling me that can't contribute to a divorce,
Let's say you
and
take.
let's say this kid, let's say this kid,
No, you're right.
yeah, let's say this kid is not the coolest kid, or this kid is really different than
It's
your parents.
weed.
Yeah, now all of a sudden, like you're spending all your time doing stuff that you don't like to do.
I think even if the kid is a good kid,
Yeah. Oh, it's stressful
it's
by itself.
if you take the
Incredibly.
same couple
Yeah.
and you say, "Hey, we're gonna clone you,"
Yes.
and
Yes.
one version of you
Yes.
is gonna
Yes.
use that money and
Yes.
time to travel the world, and
Yes.
1 month you're gonna be in Spain,
100%.
Italy,
Yes.
Greece,
You're
and you're
telling
gonna
me the
come
divorce
back and
rates
at
are
the
going to be
beach.
exactly the same. They won't.
No, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. Having a kid in
Yeah.
itself is stressful.
It's a
So like,
risk. But it is a risk that the parents are taking, not the kids. So it isn't the kid's fault. That's not the point.
it's not the kid. Sometimes it also might be. Because there's layers. Like
Yeah.
everyone wants to put everything into like two buckets.
Yes.
Like there's layers. Like
Yeah.
there's that. Then there's like a
You might
kid
have
that's
a
a good
really
kid, and it's
stressful
still
kid.
stressful having a good kid.
Yes.
Then you have like a shitty. There's
Yeah.
shitty kids.
That puts you through like
Let's
a
not
ton
pretend
of
there's not
stress.
shitty
Yeah.
fucking kids.
Yeah.
And that is probably way harder than having a good kid.
100%.
And then those parents might have been happy, and it's like, how do you stay
How-
happy when you have this
yes.
kid? And it's like, hey, how do we get their kid to stop doing drugs? And like they have
Yes.
two different ideas, and
Yeah.
now you're fighting about how to get your kid to stop doing
Yeah.
drugs. And it's like this is a stupid thing to fight about
I
that we
know.
wouldn't have been fighting about if this
Yeah.
kid wouldn't do goddamn drugs.
Yeah.
So like,
Yes.
it might have been his fault.
Yeah.
little Timmy,
Yeah,
not so cute anymore
I
when he's
know.
starting to dope up on heroin in the fucking corner.
But it does go to show that we're like everything has layers to it. So when
Everyone
you have these
wants
blanket
so
statements,
yeah.
like, it's never the kid's fault of why parents get divorced. It's kind of like, don't
That's
say
wrong.
never. Yeah.
It's
But
actually
like,
almost maybe always because obviously some people are getting divorced without kids.
like it might not be
Some
the
people,
kid's fault, but it's
it's a
still,
complication because
yes.
it's not like, oh, we're gonna have kid. Like, it's not an easy thing to do to have a
Yeah.
kid. It's money, it's time,
Yeah.
it's stress.
Oh,
Like, it's
everything. Yeah.
it changes your whole life.
Yeah.
Like, it's a part of your whole story. So like,
Yes.
hey, maybe we're getting a divorce because we couldn't figure out together how to
Yeah.
deal with having a kid.
I did hear like one guy talking about having a kid, and he goes like, it takes your levels up. So like, say the happiest you could ever be is like a 10, and the saddest you could be ever be is like a -10.
Yep.
So like, once you have a kid, it like 10 times. So like, the happiest you could
You're
ever be
like,
is like 100, but then the saddest you could ever be is like a -100.
oh, okay.
And I think that that's like pretty right. It's like, if I'm sick and I think I'm dying, then I'm like surprisingly okay with it because it's just like, it's just me.
I wouldn't know because I don't get sick.
Yeah. We're gonna test that today. If your kid is sick and they're dying, then all of a sudden it's like it takes you to like a -100 because you're just like,
Oh yeah.
so afraid and so anxious and
Good
so like
point.
fearful of that.
Yeah,
Where
I was
like
gonna
like if
dispute
I
the negative
win,
100, but
yeah,
you're right. That's right.
like if I win a cornhole tournament, I'm at a 10. I'm pretty pumped about it. I'm gonna tell everyone
That's a 10
everyone
out
I
of
know.
10.
Yeah. But if I have a kid that
Cool.
goes on wins the cornhole tournament,
Could
then
be
I'm like
20.
100. And just like, so I mean,
You're
so
yeah,
yeah,
you're
so it's like just the
right.
levels of stress and the fluctuations, I think just becomes like so much more with a kid. And yeah, I mean, some of these kids, like speaking as not the best kid myself, it's like the amount of stress that I probably put on my parents, like for
But
me to go to a therapist and be like, oh, I had no responsibility in my parents being unhappy. It's like, that's a lot. You absolutely have some responsibility. Is it your fault?
both ways.
Yes. Is it your fault? Maybe not, because you're a
You
kid.
also make them so happy. Your parents.
I mean, not much, you know?
I know you do. But I definitely know you do. Just like in general, like I know
Yeah.
people do. And
But you also bring those levels of stress and anxiety, and like that
right.
wears
But
on you
also like
over 20
you
years.
were a bad kid. I was a bad kid at times. But on the scale of bad kids,
Oh, we
we
weren't the
weren't that
worst. Yeah.
we had like bad moments where
But
like
if you had
in
a,
high school get
yes,
caught
yeah.
and blah
But if
blah
you had a
blah.
really bad kid, or just a really
Really?
different kid, like if you were a gay couple, two gay guys, and you love like ballroom
Nothing,
dancing,
nothing worse than that.
well, yeah.
Right?
But I mean, like you love ballroom dancing, you
Right.
love like these fancy dinners that probably taste terrible. Like you're just those are your interests, and that's
Oh,
fine, you
okay.
know. But now all of a sudden you have a kid. We're gonna go the other way with
I
this.
like it.
This kid is just the man. He just wants to like drink beer and watch football.
Quarterback. He's the
Yeah,
quarterback.
he's the quarterback. Now all of a sudden you're this gay couple that now has to go to all these football games that you don't like.
Yeah.
You're spending all the time with this kid wanting to watch football games that you don't like. And
You
then you're like, hey, let's go to this fancy dinner. And he's like, no, I hate it.
you got to go to your husband and be like, there's a game Friday night, but we have dinner reservations with our friends at
Yes.
that restaurant that
Yeah.
serves 11 courses of
Yes.
like squid legs.
Yeah. Now
You
all of a
go to the
sudden,
game, I'm gonna go to the
yeah.
restaurant. That's a fight.
Yes.
I
So
don't
now
want
all
to
of a
go to. I
sudden
don't want
it's
to
like,
go watch this guy
yeah.
for this fucking random our son play football.
Yeah.
I want to go eat freaking
Yes.
like green
Yes. So
sauce.
yes. And like before you had the kid, you kind of thought that's what you were gonna
You just
get.
both go and you go hang out with your other friends and you go to
Yes.
the restaurant
Yeah.
together. Now all of a sudden it's like
So I'll say it is the kid's fault.
I'd say kids are breaking the makeup laws.
No, but I did think that that was a little bit interesting.
No, no, it's
Yeah.
I think the
It's
point is
definitely a
made.
talking point.
I think this book.
What do you have it? So
So
probably coming out in 3 hours. Here we go.
we're on Rogan territory
Yeah.
here. I don't want to step on Rogan's toes because he
No.
owns this territory
Yeah.
and
Yeah. We
he's
gotta
number
get off
one.
quick.
We gotta get out before
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
gets again.
He hears someone else who's doing 3 hour
Yeah.
podcast.
So in terms of sparking debate, I think it speaks for itself. Amazing.
Yeah.
The book itself is a 5-star book. I have small issue at the end.
Yeah. That's fair. So where are you giving it in the fourth?
Um, it has an argument for a 5.
Yeah.
It does. I'm either like a 4.9 or a 5.
Okay. So
Like
you're
it's just
really
like
out there.
an amazing book I love and I wish everyone would read.
And it sparks, I don't
It's
even
like
know if it's totally true or what, but like it sparks those conversations of
it makes you
like,
think about your own life and be like,
yeah,
hey, like, okay, like I'm doing this at work, I can think about it differently. Or like,
yeah.
hey, maybe I should change my job. Or
And
like,
it,
hey, maybe,
and
like
it's such a Gladwell where it's just like, I
bring up
think
our fives.
this is a random woman's story about this concept of like that I'm talking about in this chapter. And then it's like,
Stories, the
here's a
studies,
study.
tied it all in.
Yes.
Like
And then it's,
writing wise was amazing.
yeah.
Let me read our 5-star books.
Okay.
And we're gonna see if it is within this range.
Yeah.
And if not, then it's right below, I would think. Right? Are
I
you still
agree.
kind of on the
Yeah.
same?
I would say it's somewhere between a 4.75 and a 5.
Okay. Yeah. 100%. God damn, my fives are good. Stephen Wolf,
Love it.
Untethered Soul,
Yeah, I can.
Moth in the Iron Lung, Talking to
I would
Strangers.
say it's in Moth and the Iron Lung territory.
Okay.
Talking to
Well,
Strangers.
there's only two
Talking to
more.
Strangers, we have to almost go back to. That was the first book we ever did for the book club. So it's like, were we just so pumped to be reading the book?
I thought
And
about
also Malcolm Gladwell
I thought
too.
about this the other day where I was like, it like
When you read the book matters. We talked about
Babe
that with
Ruth's like the best
Turtles.
baseball player of all time.
Yeah,
But if you pull Babe Ruth to today,
yeah.
he might not be the best baseball player of all time. Is it just talking to strangers was in the right? I
Era.
still stand by that.
Turtles
It
and
is a
Paul
5-star
Thomas.
talking
Uh,
to strangers.
I agree because the meaning that it gave you at
The
that time.
the topics, the way he covered and bounced around, Bernie
Yeah,
Madoff, Sandusky,
I agree.
random thing.
Yeah,
I I think it would hold up, but I agree that
when you read it,
the fact that it was first helped it.
yes. And even like Turtles to Paul Thomas MD, like I love Paul Thomas MD. Love Paul Thomas MD because it was like the first time I'd ever heard any vaccine stuff.
So that and Breath are the only other 5 stars than the ones I read.
Breath and
Turtles,
Talking to Strangers.
Breath,
Oh, Turtles
Untethered,
stuff.
Talking to Strangers,
Yeah.
Iron Lung, and Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
So that's 6 or so.
And I think we're right about Turtles. Had we read Turtles before Paul Thomas MD, it was like an unquestioned 5-star best book
We
we've almost ever
readjusted
read.
on that.
Yeah, we did because I think we realized that like the order matters. And like,
Is it better than that? Brave of Nanking. Is it better than
the Unabomber book,
and fucking we love flowers. Hold on,
Bad Blood,
I
Chaos.
it might be. It's at least in the conversation.
I agree. I think all those books though, like the 4 stars that we have at the top are definitely like Bad Blood,
I think Bad Blood, Nanking,
Chaos.
Chaos is there, and A
Uh,
Liberated Mind for me, I think keeps getting higher and higher because every book we read is just like reinforcing that.
I agree. And then the Opium one, Sacklers.
And Empire of Pain.
Yeah.
Which I think I missed, but
And then I think a lot of the other 4s are just like a tier below, like a
like those are like almost
considerably
like four
tier.
nines,
Yeah.
like type of stuff.
Yes.
I think this is there,
I agree. I think it's in that mix.
right? Like it's on par.
We need to get the board.
Maybe an inch above an Empire of Pain. I don't know.
It's tough.
So if you
I love
definitely know,
Yeah.
then it's there.
But
right.
I agree. I think like topic
That's
wise too,
amazing.
like I am interested in like that topic and
This
like
is the topic I like.
yeah.
It's applicable to life. It hits everything. It makes me think. It makes me
Yeah.
want to talk about it. It makes me want to like demolish other people for what they're doing in their lives, which is what I really want to be doing. Is just
Smart.
making
Yeah.
myself feel better about myself. Like
Yeah.
telling everyone that they haven't read books that I've read.
And then call this author fatty.
If I didn't Google him, it'd be a 5-star.
I like it really was. It was just such a well written book. Like it was such a
good.
well
Like,
organized.
I think we have another book of his on our list,
Yeah.
and I think we'll
Fast track that.
we'll read in maybe other book
Yeah.
at some point. Yeah, I think
It's
we did
crazy.
it.
It is a bit crazy. Like with like some artists. Like I listened to a couple of Taylor Swift songs on her new album,
Mm.
and by listening to a couple of songs, I like
I did yesterday when we drove.
I like clicked through it, listened to like 15 seconds of each song, and it was like one of them had a real like Lana Del Rey vibe.
So right now.
Another one had like another like a totally different person type vibe. And it really is interesting that like when you listen to songs like you can really take from other artists and like kind of still get credit that it's your own.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like
That's what they
books,
do it.
yeah, and like books, same thing. Like, we'll know how much of a poser this guy is or not, like if we read a few of his books, but like there's a good chance he
It
just,
comes out.
yeah, like he just kind of took a Malcolm Gladwell approach to
It
this.
was.
Like, I wonder if he literally was like, I'm gonna write this like Malcolm Gladwell.
It almost felt like it.
Yeah,
It felt, which was, I think
it's
it's
a
a
great way to
fun,
write.
it's a
Yeah,
good way because it makes
it's a super engaging way. Like even the prologue being
him
like,
eating the apple and stuff.
yes, and then being like, you need the nausea is the way that
And
you're
they were
going.
like, we put so much pesticides on our food, you can't even just wash
Skin.
it. You have to
Yeah,
like take the skin off. It's
yeah.
like a whole different debate.
Yes, that goes to what, yeah, that's a whole nother problem. But yeah, so what would you say? So I'm comfortable as a 4.9.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Okay.
I think it's
See, I thought you were gonna go 4.7. I would say 4.
no.
You think 4.9.
Again, like 4.8, 4.9 or something. Like
So
I'm
let's go
cool.
4.85.
Perfect. 4.15 and a 4.85 for today's books.
Yeah,
I think that's perfect.
I
Like
think that's right.
I don't think it's quite out of breath
No.
or an untethered.
And it's
And
not as
that's like
unique
the
as the Steppenwolf or one of those. Like we've
right.
read this book before, not necessarily about this topic, but we've read the here's my personal story, here's someone else's story, here's some psychological
Right, like
trials.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
But it was great. It
Um,
really was great. It was really a must read.
I think like I
It's
would
yeah.
in terms of books I would recommend to people,
It's up
it's
there,
right
yeah.
after the
Me
five
too.
stars.
Yeah,
Again,
I agree.
it's right with the rest. It's right with the Bad Bloods.
Yeah.
I think we did it.
I think it's done.
I don't know if it gets better than that. That might have to be the last episode we ever do.
Yeah.
So goddamn good.
It might be.
I'm excited to listen. Um,
Look forward to a guest on the next
we'll have a
next
guest on the
episode.
next one. So
We're
our
gonna have
next
to pick some new
book
books. Yeah.
is What is the What?
And
We
we're gonna
have
have
that picked. We have to pick one more,
Yeah.
and we'll include that in what we send out, maybe. So maybe we'll end, then we'll pick a book, and we'll
Yeah.
call it a day.
Love it.
And then we'll put the new book in the write-up, which we know everyone will read. If you made it 3 hours, 6 minutes, and 47 seconds in,
God bless.
call us.
Yeah.
Just come here
Yeah.
and hang out with us because that would probably save you some time.
Oh,
And it'll be a lot more fun
Yeah.
than doing it virtually. But we'll see you on Spotify,
God bless.
and we hope you enjoy. Do we?